and welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, a podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I'm your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, get your combos ready and bring around your good buds for another fantastic conversation with a sensational content creator, where you'll probably be watching his 500th hand on Balatro. Today's guest is Lythero, a content creator, editor, and animator whose fun times with friends and insane animations he's commissioned lead to some of the most entertaining videos on the web. Lythero is someone that is an instant comfort creator for me. Like, I watch his videos all the time. So to get a chance to sit down and talk with him, on a very rare appearance, may I note, like, it was super surreal, and I know you guys are going to absolutely love the conversation because it's Lythero. The vibe alone is going to be outstanding. If you enjoy Lythero, make sure you support him in the links down in the description below. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know, I see that stuff, you know, it genuinely warms my heart. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out the merch shop on fourthwall.com with that link in the description below. We have some fantastic merch as done by some outstanding artists, including the official logo merch as done by the sensational Roshan Galaxy. And look, if all you want is a nice, cool, casual, safe place to where you can showcase your art, really get to know some of the other people in this fantastic community, and really grow, then may I recommend you check out our Discord server, the Artist Sanctuary. The server has been surprisingly growing within the past couple months or so, and I really appreciate the space that we have developed there, and I think you would be a fantastic addition to that group today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Thank you sincerely once again for taking the time to do this. This is an absolute honor just to even get a chance to chat with you, let alone get a chance to interview you. This is gonna be awesome. I'm excited for this.
Honor to be here. Thank you for asking.
Oh yeah, no problem. Once I figured out exactly where your business email was, I'm like, send a quick email, hope for the best. Because I can tell you how
my business email, my one weakness.
Yes, your business email planted on your Twitter of all places. Yep. So, hey, if it helps, I imagine that's probably one of the best places you get, like, I don't know, like sponsorships. People being like, you know, okay, what's this guy's email because we want to sponsor them or whatnot. So
it is a thin veiled filter, so I can I can kind of look and, you know, I'll get a bunch of business emails that are like, hey, can you like be my friend? Hey, I'm going to be at the Chick-fil-A at this corner in this state in America. Do you want to hang out? And eventually I'll find the business email that is like, we want to sponsor you for, we want you to do a sponsored segment at the start of your video of the Lord of the Rings game. All we need is your 3 wacky digits in the back of your number right here. So there really is a lot of like reading comprehension required to see which ones are the real ones and which ones are just really trouble.
Oh no, that's extremely valid. See, I rarely get like ad opportunities or whatnot, but there was one time that I got one to where the person like emailed me, he's like, hey, we want to advertise for you, we got this new game that we're coming out called Block Champions or whatnot. I'm like, oh, that seems interesting. I look into it. That one. I looked into it. It was an NFT game.
Yeah, my favorite one of the few lines that we try not to cross here in this world. Definitely like I've definitely like resorted to just saying like fuck you, like in reply, like to professional emails. Like we'll have this huge weird. Oh, I should look through my emails. I was really rude one time. I was so tired. I was so sick. Hold on. I can't.
It's one of those like I just didn't bother responding to that one because I was like, if I just even.
No, that's the correct way. That's the correct way to deal with it. You shouldn't respond to them. But I'm a bastard. Look,
I can be a bastard at times. All right.
Yes, but we shouldn't be a bastard in the face of business. Okay. Yeah. I think I find it. Someone says like, yeah, yada yada yada, really long paragraph. Like it was an MCN. So do you know what an MCN is?
I feel like I've heard a multi-channel network or something like that. Or
absolutely, my God, damn, he's good chat. Anyway, yes. multi-channel network. Here's my tiny PSA to you and anyone who's listening. I don't know if we started yet, but I'm going to yap anyways. Stay away from them. They'll give you a contract, and it's like hiring a guardian that doesn't look after you, and they're just professionally there to hand you your like, I guess you would call it fucking like chore money. Your what do you call it over in America? Your allowance.
There you go.
Yeah, they just give you an allowance, and it was all meant to be yours anyway. And what they offer are services that probably will not help you in the most case. You have to have a very specific, crazy MCN for it to actually benefit you. Because I had one for an age, and it was awful. It was so bad. I hated it. I was stuck there for 10 years. Still changed the contracts to make sure that you can't get out of it. And that's actually whenever I got out of the MCN that I was contracted to, was whenever I was actually like motivated to actually start fucking doing shit.
Okay. I mean, trust me, I've heard all about all sorts of different like MCNs and stuff like that. I mean, I pay attention to a good bit of YouTubers. I think the most notorious the most notorious one of them all is obviously Machinima, when that was the thing.
That was, I think it was one called Collab, and I think it was a subset. It wasn't like Machinima in name, but I think it was Machinima in soul, as in like they made a subsidiary of other like networks because Machinima was no longer like looking to hire people. So they're like, let's put it under. I could be completely making shit up, by the way. Don't take my fucking
exactly. Take this with a grain of salt.
They're all dying, so who cares? Deservedly so. But it was called Collab, like, and yeah, no, it was awful, abysmal. And there was another one. I moved from Collab to BTTV, I think.
Interesting.
I don't remember what it was called specifically. I think it was Better TV Network or something like that. And then another few years went by, and I was like, wait a minute, these all suck dick. I need to get out. And I realized that they wouldn't let me. So it took me 3 years after I had the realization that I had to get out. It took another 3 years to actually leave.
That's horrid or whatnot. Like, the closest I've ever come to being associated with something was being part of a podcast network that, when I joined in, literally did nothing. So I got kind of lucky that I didn't get roped into something. Like, the most I had to do for them is just advertise some of the other podcasts in the network, which was no major deal or whatnot.
Sure.
So, like, but I've heard all the different horror stories when it comes to MCNs and stuff like that, and I'm just like, good lord, like, I understood at the time why some people would have been like, oh, this seems interesting because this was the Wild West of the internet or whatnot, and people weren't sure what exactly they're getting into. Hey, we can make money off of this stuff? This sounds like a cool idea. And then it just turns out to be a huge scam.
Yeah. Don't you love that plot twist? Isn't that great? Isn't that cool?
and the internet learned, and we've never been convinced of any other scams that we see on the internet ever again, especially as content creators.
Nope.
Anyways, this podcast is brought to you by Honey. No.
Yay! Let's fucking go. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Terrible.
Absolutely atrocious. But we're in better times now. All
right, so that we know. The fucked up sponsors may still be among us. Oh my god, among us.
How dare you? No.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. 3, 2, 1.
No. Sorry, that was
no, this is perfect.
Shut up! Stupid fucking thing.
Are you playing Balatro while we're doing our interview? Because that's
I love Balatro.
No, I was gonna say, because keep going. You're good.
I accidentally please include this by all means.
No, I'm going to.
So I'm gone. I'm disappeared. If I press this, I know what happened. All right, okay, and then I go down here and I click this.
There you go. Cool. You're back.
Yeah, I had this here for like, oh my god, Balatro. Don't mind if I do. But yeah, no, I'm not actually playing it. I'm definitely all attention here.
Okay.
I swear.
I'll take your word for it, Lythero.
The button I meant to like was this. I meant to press this one just for one clap. Like, that was it. And then I accidentally hit like the maximum fucking overdrive mega clap. So yeah, I didn't mean to be a dickhead. Wow.
Way to go, man. Way to ruin the interview before we even get started.
I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Fuck.
But in all seriousness, Lythero, hopefully now that I have your attention, let's kick off the podcast with what I like to call the icebreaker question, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a deserted island on your own accord. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to truly enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations, you're not like, I should say, you're not straight on a desert island. It's like a little personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I know, right? I should say probably to a different island than the island you're currently on, but that's a whole different thing.
Oh damn! Jokes. Damn. Fuck. It's not that tiny. There's things in Ireland.
No, I'm not.
No.
You
can drive for 4 hours. Sorry,
no,
continue.
I'll say I'm not dissing Ireland. I'm saying let's give you a little paradise away from Ireland for a little bit. That's all I'm trying to get at.
That's all I want.
To make sure you don't go further insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help whatever kind of headspace you want on this little paradise of your own. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
How long am I stuck on this island?
As long as you want to. Like I said, this is a paradise, so this is like your choice.
Oh baby, Balatro!
There you go! Balatro, baby!
Balatro, baby. Like I'm not even joking. Currently, right now, it would be Balatro. I messed up. I really did mess up. I was told to play Balatro by my good friend Gary. It's not the first. Well, it's not the first and will not be the last time I bring him up on someone else's fucking videos. But zyzx_ and Dino. They both were like, you should play Balatro. And I was like, no, I don't like Balatro. I don't like card games. I don't like these things. And then I found out it was a roguelite. I was like, I technically like these things, but I don't want to give up my time to it. And then I played it, and then you know the drill. Now I'm stuck, and I got it on my phone, and I've lost my house, my wife, my bunnies. I've lost my job. I'm just playing Balatro. It's all encompassing. My channel's going down the drain. I'll never do a productive thing ever again. It's really good. Would you like to play some Balatro? I would take this to the island, by the way. That is my genuine response. I would just take that to the island.
I've been meaning to get into Balatro because I've heard so many good things, especially when the Game Awards were coming around and people were like hyping it up, and like it won like a bunch of the awards there or whatnot. I was like, maybe I should give Balatro a try because it seems interesting on the surface. I've seen a good couple of my friends in like Discord servers just like playing it and like seeing how like the roguelike elements, but also like how the math of it works or whatnot. Like it seems like a unique experience at the very least.
It's awesome. It's sick. I mean, that is my genuine answer right now. If I was trying to pick like a more like evergreen answer for like a piece of literature or media that I like enjoy eternally, it would probably be, I don't know, probably like, fuck, I'm trying to think. Because, like, I could play those games whenever I'm not at the island. Right. I don't think it would really... I think it... I can't even think. Maybe even, like, in the far future, it'd still be fucking Balatro. I don't know. Well... Arcades or Skies of Arcadia, like, that's, like, my favorite, like long-form game. Like, that's a more, like, like... He likes Skies of Arcadia. Oh, hooray. But, yeah, no.
I mean, all of those are really good answers, but I think regardless, we gotta stick with the OG one. So, Balatro, that is your answer. You're locking that in.
Balatro it is. So we're locked in.
We're locked in. Let's get those jokers out there because let's get started with the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You would look fantastic in the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. He is a content creator, editor, and animator whose fun times with friends and insane animations he's commissioned lead to some of the most entertaining videos on the internet. Welcome to the podcast, Lythero!
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, hello, what's up? Hi. Thanks for having me here. Good to be here. What's up?
It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Hope you're holding up all right, given everything.
No, I'm good. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm upbeat.
They're good.
Yeah. Videos. I can do videos. I'll do them again.
Yes, you just gotta get over your Balatro addiction to get back to videos. But yeah, videos.
Yes. God, I love Balatro.
Okay, but
Yeah,
Balatro. No,
I've been doing this thing for like, God, like 10? No, it's definitely 15 years now at this rate.
I was gonna say, last time I checked while I was doing my research, you've been at, just content creation at the very least for at least a good over 15 years at this point. But I imagine, just a love when it comes to the arts in general, like, it's probably stems a little bit further than that. But to see what you're doing nowadays, both with what you've done personally and what you've been able to kind of rally around with the community that you've built and the friend group that you've built, you've really done some really impressive stuff. And that's why it's an honor and a pleasure to even have you here in the first place, just to talk about that kind of stuff. But before we talk about what you're doing nowadays, I do want to go back a little bit and just learn more or less the origin story of Lythero, or the origin story of Lee. What got you interested in art and animation and stuff in the first place?
I used to like, let's see. Oh man. So I would like to preface this with, thank goodness I'm so old that the internet didn't really exist whenever I was growing up.
Right.
Because I would have been obliterated. I would have been immediately categorized into one of those like genres of incredibly annoying like Sonic fan kids that I just drew Sonic all the time while growing up.
Okay.
Like, religiously. I was like an obsessive fan, like medically concerned obsessive like fan of like Sonic games, and I would draw him all the time, and I'd learn little bits of animation, and then that devolved into like, well, I mean, like Sega stuff was going a little bit shit after like a certain point. I'm not going to mention which Sonic game, because then I'll have a little fan war underneath the comments of like, how dare you call that one the bad one. But like, I was like, let me look around. And then I find, oh my god, I got a GameCube, and I played Smash Bros. Melee, and then I find Link, and I was like, whoa, who's this guy? Oh my god, this game's sick. And then I went and played like Wind Waker, and I was like, like how like I was that categorically that insane with like Sonic games. Yeah. I was then that insane as like a teenager over like Zelda games.
Okay.
And I would draw Zelda stuff all the time. I can't find any of it, but I would do little manuals of like drawing like Zelda if Nintendo locked the fuck in, and I draw little manuals of like Link doing like somersaults, and like, one of it was cool, and he had like these super cool moves, not what Zelda's like really about, but right. At the time I was like, this would be way better. but puts on like thinking hat. But whenever I was in school, after like hours in class, I get all my work done, and there was Macromedia, back whenever it was called Macromedia, Flash, and then it got bought up by Adobe to what you now know as Adobe Flash. Hooray! Yeah. And I would stay after school, and I'd do like Stickman battles, and I'd animate Stickman all the time, and I'd go to Newgrounds, and oh my god, finding Newgrounds like blew my fucking mind.
Yes.
Am I allowed to swear?
Oh yeah,
like frequently.
Fucking go for it. I don't give a damn. Go for it, shit.
All right, let's go. Anyways, so I find Newgrounds, and my god, like it blew my head open, because I was like, this is like so funny, and about video games is for me. It wasn't really that funny. Like Newgrounds humor was like, it wasn't that good.
It was a niche kind of humor for its time.
We thought we were cooking, but like it was the bottom of the ladder. Like we got to where we are thanks to those early days of like, what if video game but parody, and then so on and so forth. So I got into that, and I would do a couple of little animations. There's really, really old ones that I would have done, and I would have uploaded to Newgrounds, and it was hyper cringe and hyper annoying. And I then went to, oh my god, I'm trying to go through my whole like story here. I'm trying to think. Let's see. After school, do I put in the trauma of like the teacher saying like, you can't do that? It's not a real job. You'll never become a real hero, Mickey Mouse. And I was like, no, but like I want to do the funny like drawings, and they're like, no, you'll never get a house. Anyways, it was very highly discouraged, specifically by teachers. My parents were actually very supportive in anything that I would like try to endeavor. Cool. They're pretty rad, and but then I went to university. I went to try to learn animation, and unfortunately, the university I went to. Sorry if you're listening. University that I listened to or went to. Sorry, you didn't teach me shit. I didn't learn anything. Not a damn thing. I took a course in what was called media arts, and I took that because it was the closest thing to animation in all of Ireland, actually, at least all in Northern Ireland. I'm stuck up in the top.
Okay.
And yeah, it was all video editing. Well, actually, not even video editing. It was all TV and movie theory, like film theory. Sorry, film theory. That was the main thing. It was film theory. And the one thing that I've learned from film theory is the 180 rule, and I'll never forget it.
Yep.
Which is like, yeah, you know, the one with like the invisible line between the two people.
I went to a school that had what we call a mass media program or whatnot, and they had a lot of emphasis when it come to like TV production, with some film production and whatnot. But yeah, the 180 rule is the thing that everyone learns when they go to film school.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, so I took that on board, and through no help to the actual like university. Like there was one like dude that showed up. They're like, we're gonna bring in a specialist today, class, and we're gonna get a Flash animator enthusiast to teach you how to use Flash. I'm like, well, I already use Flash. And then the enthusiast came in and he's like, all right, everyone, open up your project, and we're going to draw a circle. We're going to learn how to tween it from left to right. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to what I'm doing. And I just opened up my project and went back to animating, like, you know, it was fucking Sonic characters, but at least, you know, it was more than a circle. It was something. In fact, there was one thing I did learn. I take it back. Okay. Whenever the character would tween, whenever I would tween like an arm, like moving on an axis, like swinging it down to up, like Shadow the Hedgehog was holding a fucking like Swiss roll, and he lifts it up to his face, and whenever I like would play it, it would explode. Like his hand would like fly all over the place in random directions that made no sense. And I was like, okay, teacher, dude who's been brought in for the one day, how do I stop this from happening? And he's like, oh, you just need to what you've done is you've moved the anchor point from the start and the end of the keyframes. And I stood up, and I unironically put my hand out, and I said, that is the one thing that I've learned in my entire 3-year course at this university. And I said it loud enough for the course director to hear me, and she was not happy, but I meant it. I learned that one thing. And then I went on to get a job, thanks to word of mouth, at the British Channel Network. I fucking what it's called. The British Broadcast Channel, BBC. That's the one. And they had a cartoon called Roy, and I did video editing, and they were like, take this project. Oh, I hear the fence work.
Yeah, I told you. Oh, yeah. I worked it.
That's some good workmanship right there, yeah. Oh, get out of here.
What are you doing?
Shut up.
I wonder if I can find some funny way to like censor that or whatnot. Like just
I mean, it's just a guy. I can turn it off or not. Hang on, let me just like close that. Right, it's the stream elements. All right, okay, it's turned off. Bam. Okay. Anyways, fuck, where was I? Yeah, I went to Roy, the kids show, Roy. Yes. And I was there. They gave me a project, and they're like, hey, do this like scene in like 3 hours. Between you and me, I spent one whole week on that bitch. Oh, wow. And I said I definitely lied. Lying. And I got the job, and I didn't know a damn thing about video editing, and I just asked around like the office. I learned like one little like technique from everyone in the room, and in about 3 weeks, people were running up and asking me to help them with stuff. It was kind of nuts, actually. I learned quick enough, and you know, you'll learn stuff really fast. Like the alternative is like nobody wants to fire anyone. Whenever you're in a job, like nobody wants to like fire you if you're there to like do the job. Yeah. It's okay if you don't know how to do it just now, because everyone's got growing pains like fitting into a new area. That would be a little bit of advice I guess I just thought of just there now, because I learned really quick, and you'll learn doing the work way faster than like in like education, in my belief, because in that environment, your brain is like, hey, bro, sink or swim. Yes. So you retain the information and you pay attention because you know that this shit's going to be useful. Otherwise, you will get fired. And it worked out. And then about, a couple of months later, all of the animation for this is a cartoon that's only like partially animated.
Right.
It was a show of like school kid actors and family actors acting around this invisible like nothing, and the character is animated, kind of like, you know, Roger Rabbit. It doesn't have the fucking like polish and pristine of the fucking like Disney movie, but
right.
You know, it's the same concept, cartoon character with live actors, and all the animation was done in Canada.
Okay.
And they sent that footage over to Ireland, and it was our job. It was only our job to make it look real. So they do the animation, and then we do like filters and tracking and the camera movements of the show. Have you seen any of this? I would like to.
The only clip that I saw is a clip that you posted years ago, and that's because you recently brought it up like not too long ago, because people were like, "Oh, it's good to see this, you know, clip being resurfaced or whatnot." The one where you had to put something on the character's arm, and you put and you stuck in some wonderful basically code on fighting for, I forget what exactly the character it was. You can help me out with this one because I'm trying to forget. Like
Boinus Ronicus, Phoenix Wright.
There you go, Phoenix Wright. There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
That boy. Yeah. No, it was Phoenix Wright, the Phoenix Wright combo, destined to be my touch of death combo on Roy's arm, Your Honor. What do you mean I get 5 years imprisonment? Anyways, so like, I like got an alarming email. Actually, it wasn't an email. It was a whole like group meeting. And the director was losing his shit. He was exploding because the show was heavily, you know what it looks like.
Yes.
So you know that it has like a moving camera. The cameraman was intentionally moving his like hand around so that it would look more authentic. Like as a documentary, you know, like we're going to make it look real by having the cameraman swing his hands around like as if he's suffering from Parkinson's. And man, that shit ruined the whole operation, because the storyboards for Roy would show stuff like, in this scene only his head is shown, or in this scene only his like upper torso is shown. So whenever the cameraman swung the camera down, whenever we tracked the character to the movements of the camera, he would suddenly be legless or just not have half of a body. And the director was like, we're fucked, like that's it, we're done, like wrap it up, like the whole project, we can't send this stuff back and forth between Ireland and Canada. This is going to cost us months of time. No one here, absolutely no one knows how to use Adobe Flash. And then I like weakly put my hand up and I said, I know Flash. And they're like, all right, you're the guy, you do all of the things. And I wasn't an animator, but I was a cleanup animator. Okay. Anything that was missing, I would put in. I did do a couple of scenes. Like for example, the scene that you saw with Roy with the stuff on his arm, that wasn't me animating it. That was me just adding effects. So I was like making sure that like, you know, there was like visual effects on his arm and showing that there was like, you know, I'd have to like trace and copy the code to make sure it like stuck to his body and it didn't like fly off his arm or anything. That was just the editing part. But there are a couple of other scenes that I did. There's a couple of actual ones that I animated from start to finish. God, I wonder if I can find them. Oh man, I'm just desperately trying to talk about how I was actually like doing animation before we get to the part where I'm like, and then I didn't do animation ever again. And now I'm on a podcast about, you know, animating, but.
I mean, to be fair, like I figured this was like talking about this stuff was something I definitely wanted to talk about when it comes to just kind of your content creation journey as a whole, because I can still see, especially in the videos you post these days, that love for animation in the first place, just with the people that you bring on for your stuff. But I mean, still, I figured you didn't just bring them on just because, oh, this would be cool or whatnot to have, because like in all actuality, yeah, there's a lot of people that do funny moment stuff, but they don't use an animator in one form or another. But for you, I imagine for you, you know that there's that fun little element of that extra visualization in whatever form or whatever, you know, art style that the person is doing it in or whatnot. That just makes that so much better. That just makes it more entertaining for people to watch.
Hell yeah. Twitter. No, I agree. No, for real, I absolutely agree. I think I found it. Is it here? Gee. No, it's 100%. I'm looking. God damn it. I know I tweeted about it somewhere, but unfortunately, Twitter's like really difficult to find stuff these days.
Oh, I know. Trust me. It took me forever to find the clip that I was talking about for you, and that you only like re-quote tweeted that like what, a few months ago or whatnot.
Yep. Oh well, I can't find it. If I find it in the middle of the thing, I'll flash it up here and then.
There you go.
Oh wait, I found it. I did it. I found it.
There you go. We got there in the end.
Let's go.
Wow.
That's my favorite scene. I like that scene. I animated that one like from scratch. So like there'd be a couple of scenes where it's like, hey, we need this, and we don't like how the Canadians did it. Bless their souls, they really did a lot. They did a lot of work. Not to discredit them, but you know sometimes the director was very like picky about how things looked, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. And I learned how to like blur the legs and you know stretch and follow. And he'd be like, no, it's wrong. Do it better. Do it better. Do it better. And they needed like their logo for their studio animated. I did that after like fucking overtime where they're like, please stay and do the logo. I need it now for a presentation. And I'm like, okay, just this once. So yeah, I did do a little bit more than just like cleanup, but beyond that, that's about as far as like animation will go. Actually, no, that's not true. Now I think about it, there's a little bit more later. In fact, there was an early version of the videos that I do now, which was the Smash montages that did do really well back in the day. It was called Grandstanding for Glory, and it was just me, sometimes with my brother, playing Smash Bros. Online, either like, for glory, 1v1 or 2v2s. And very occasionally, there'd be like maybe 3 to 5 or 6 very short 5-second animations of the characters doing stuff, and like I would try to like blend it in between games and the actual like animation and the action. So like if you type in Mega Man, you probably even find it in like Twitter. Or is it? Oh my god, me slowing down the whole show at every turn. There we go. Okay, that's my last credentials. So for example, like there's another GIF of like me playing the game, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna open up SFM and I'm gonna animate the character, and then it'll go back to like a montage of nonsense. And it was like me trying to like, oh, I'm so cool at this video game, and people thought I was incredible at like fighting games, and I was like, I'm okay, I'm mid at best. Everyone's godlike at fighting games for like one time, like a couple of weeks. Like all you need is a couple of good clips, and then you string them together.
I'm gonna say I'm adding that gift to my favorites. I'm gonna be sending to people because that's just such a really good one. I really enjoyed that. Like I think that's the thing that whenever I'm like viewing your videos or whatnot, like whenever I'm watching your videos and such, like I love the element of the animations, whether it is your own or like what you're showcasing or whoever you bring on or whatnot. Just like again, like I said, with standard like funny moments, YouTubers or whatnot, sometimes just the interaction alone is what they think is good enough, and there's no need for an animation. But like with you going out and either before doing your own animation or commissioning people nowadays to showcase some incredible animations and scenarios and whatnot, it brings it to a whole different level of just like fun, like wanting to watch it all the way through to see what wild idea did Lythero commission a person to bring to life,
Thank you, and I have a funny story about that. I actually think I should answer that right now.
Go for it.
Because I wanted to talk about like the progression of the Smash Bros videos to now, but I think it's more fun. Did you mention like, if I get this right, you said like, I wonder how it got to this, like how Lythero asked the animator to do it in a certain way.
Yes.
So here's the fun part. The animators that I work with are pretty much all homies.
Right.
I've been involved in like the animation scene for a while. Mm-hmm. Being in like the scene means that like I've got a lot of like it's not even like mutuals. Like we are definitely like a lot of us are friends. Some are like more recent, and I'll definitely like it's mostly business.
Right.
However, the one thing in common is they're all fucking insane.
Yes.
So I don't even ask for a silly thing. I can literally give like, okay, so the best example is Silent Man Joe.
Yes.
Who the one source filmmaker wizard left in the universe. At least he's the only source filmmaker user that does animations for any of my videos. I can give him audio and I won't even give him a single direction note. Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing, literally nothing, and he'll come back with like absolute gold fire every time. He doesn't even like ask. He won't even like. There will be in a conversation between us. Like I'll be like, This, my lord, and I hand him the audio, and he's like, I will be back. And then like 2 weeks pass, and he just drops like insane references. He's just so like coded into like the stupid humor that like I would be into. So like most people, most friends, I don't even say, I can't take credit for the hilarity. The only thing I can take credit for most of the animations is like the funny audio.
Right.
And even then, it's more than often than not my friends who are actually being funny. I'm just being like the fucking straight guy in the middle of the fucking video, trying to hold the whole thing together. That's why we did like a video with Half-Life, and it was actually Gary's video. It was Gary's stream. It was zyzx_ like stream, and that's why he was being like the straight man, like just trying to get from A to B, finishing the game, and me and Duvad were just being psychos, like to try and like derail it at every moment. And I love that. It's a nice little reminder that I can be really fucking annoying and unhinged, especially with like, oh yeah, that's the same thing with the Mario 64 one.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
That wasn't my stream. That was Gary's stream too. So I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna bully everyone and be as evil as possible. It really worked out very well.
I was like, to be fair, yeah, it may have been Gary's stream, but like at the same time, like it was how many people's videos at that point, like with how many people that were involved in that thing, and just how chaotic it was.
it was definitely his shebang, because he was like, hey guys, and then he worked it up, he set it up, he invited us all in, and he organized the mods. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll show up, I guess. Kicks dust. And it turned out to be just so fucking funny. I was like, wait, hold on. This is fire. I need to turn on like the recording.
There you go.
the rest is history. But it's always a lot of fun. It's always a big, huge blast of fun. I really love the videos that I make now, because I can if I can watch it and not cringe unironically, then I'm like, this has to be a decent video.
Yes.
Like, for real.
That is a good mentality to have.
Well, back in the day, like people were like, oh, like I love your videos, and I'm like, they're okay, they're fine, they're fine, I guess, they're not that good. And now it's like I can't even say that, because like so much of the talent is from incredibly talented people working their asses off. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right, it's good. Yeah, absolutely correct.
Bet your ass is good.
Correct. It's based.
Based in what though?
Oh my god. How dare you?
I will say, I love how you're like, you were talking about like people saying, I love your old videos, stuff like that. And you're like, which I'm going to apologize, because I am going to be bringing up some of those older videos, mainly with the aspect of, I imagine, like you said, you were working with Flash and such, and you were dealing with like animation on your own time with your own stuff. What exactly inspired you to want to like try out even animation in the first place? I don't think I asked that in the first place. Like with
videos, or just animation?
Just animation in general, because I could tell that there was obviously like a love for it or whatnot. But like, what made you want to go down that path, and what inspired you with some of the early animations that you made for your channel, like the notorious at this point Mario Kart Destruction?
Oh my god! Why did you have to dox me like that? Jesus Christ!
Hey, I wouldn't dox you if it wasn't still up on your channel. That's the thing.
Oh, you know what? I like that animation. I still like it. As awful as it was as a first endeavor, it's like no. Please don't worry about it. I'm so glad you asked. I'm pretending to be mad, but no, like so. Oh man. Okay. So I did that one specifically because I had to do an animation for like my end of like year thesis or degree, whatever you fucking call it.
Okay.
Right. And it was like, you must do actually no, that was a different one. No, it was the same one. You must do 4 videos, not animations, videos. And it was like, okay, well, can I like only do 1 because animation's really long and difficult? And they're like, no, it must be
4.
It must be 4, and it must be like a minute long each. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, you're killing me. I really wanted to do animation, and I did it because like, fuck, what do I have to say? Animation's magical. I love animation. Like, people don't have to like explain why they watch Disney movies. That's just fucking awesome.
It is. I agree.
I mean, I say that, but maybe we do have to explain it, because we're getting all these fucking remakes of like geographical like television like mo-capped animals with like realistic faces plastered on them. So I feel like we're maybe losing our way somewhere along the line. But I mean, Sonic got more fucking money than Mufasa.
Despite what Disney wants to constantly say.
And then Disney said, like, they weren't ready. That's crazy.
They were not ready
and then
at all.
I showed them twice with a Shadow the Hedgehog gift, like shaking his head. But yeah, no, like animation's wonderful. I feel like it's like the most like pure form of like human like magic that like people can create. The only problem is that it takes fucking ages. Mm-hmm. And whenever I did animation, I was like enthusiastic about it, and I loved the feeling of creation that you got by making it. Because like, yeah, it's really stressful, but the dopamine that explodes in your brain whenever you finally do it is like astronomically high. So that's why I would do it, and that's why like I was playing Mario Kart DS mm-hmm. with my good old friends Tyler, Adrian, and Scotty, and Tyler was religiously dog shit at the game. So like we had a loader that Adrian like sorted out, and we made sure that whenever it was loading, it would show like our average wins in the score. Like you remember like Newgrounds would have like loading, like customized loading screens. So there's a customized loading screen for that animation specifically on Newgrounds, and it would be just a random generation of numbers of wins, of like normal amounts of wins for me, Adrian, and Scotty. Mm-hmm. Like 70 or 50 or 120 wins, and then Tyler's win-loss ratio would always be like 3,500 losses, no matter what. Like it was something awful, and we just had a lot of fun just playing Mario Kart, and we had like the fucking Wi-Fi dongles like set up so we can play online. We felt like the only 4 people in the world that could play it, right? And it was just a common thing. Like 3 of us are racing. Tyler gets the fucking blue shell, and someone gets hit, and I'm like, well, I'm animating it, so I get the fucking win this time. and that's what we made it. And I still think fondly of those times where we play that shit. I actually kind of want to do another Mario Kart video with specifically those chaps, because like, oh hell yeah, they're still, yeah, no, I would like to get back to that, because like the videos have become less about like what I want to play in the moment, and it's more like, you must play this, otherwise Daddy Algo YouTube will kill you. Do Lethal Company. That being said, Lethal Company's fucking sick. I love Lethal Company.
Lethal Company is great. I fucking love it.
But yeah, that's it. That's why I like animation. It's cool. Like I can move around. I can explode. I can go Super Saiyan.
There you
go. But I'm not actually Super Saiyan. I'm just a fucking midlife crisis like adult male sitting on a chair. But you don't have to fucking know that. Don't worry about that. The viewers can be entertained by all this silly shit that like Jet has like painstakingly drawn.
Yes.
Oh, bless their heart.
Yeah, bless their heart indeed. I mean, that seeing the animations that the stuff that they've been able to do alone, that shout out topspinthefuzzy or whatnot, because they are someone that I would also
shout out to Topspin the motherfucking fuzzy.
Yeah, they are someone that I would love to also have on the podcast at some point in the near future. It's just with all the stuff they've been able to do, but like that love for that animation, especially being able to showcase it in like your personal gaming stuff as well. I think it's a great way to kind of mesh the two worlds together. It does lead me to wonder though, like, what made you lead to want to like post that kind of stuff online, like put that stuff out there for the world to see? What made you interested in the world of like YouTube and content creation and get invested in that?
Easy peasy. I was working, this is the time whenever I was working on like Roy as a / animator cleanup artist. Mm-hmm. And on the side, I would be just playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Smash Bros. And I really enjoyed getting good at the fighting games. And then I'm like, man, I want to see like other people play this game. I want to learn. And I noticed there wasn't really a lot of like content that was like kind of geared for entertainment. It was mostly just shown for like
learning how to play the game and such.
This is how the game is done. Or the most like common one is like whenever a new fighting game comes out, someone just records like all of the animations that the characters can do. Yeah, like the most egregious one is like a Mortal Kombat, a fighting game that I'll never fucking like get into. But whenever it comes out, you can bet there's going to be like 20 uploaders uploading every single gruesome fatality that the devs have made, just to show off those animations. Oh my god, it all goes back to animation. I didn't even mean to talk about it, but yeah. And then I was like, well, I'd like to like kind of like make some videos because I've done some like crazy like comebacks and like fighting games, like whenever only Beautiful Joe's left alive and I'm only Pixel, and I was able to kill an entire like group thanks to, you know, the wonderful magic of X Factor, which is a broken mechanic. But and then I record that. Yeah, yes. And then I would upload that, and then people seemed to enjoy it, and I would upload it more and more. And then I was like, okay, well, how can we go even like harder, like make it even cooler? And that's whenever I was doing like the Smash Bros stuff, and I was like, well, hold on, what if it was different? What if I fooled people like with that Mega Man gift and stuff like that? And then people were like, not just like, oh my god, you're so good at the fighting game. It was like, how did Mega Man do that? He's not supposed to wink at the camera. And I'm like, gotcha. Man. What I learned in that like time with even just the video editing segment of my job with the TV show Roy, I was like, I think I could just YouTube, and they laughed at me. They laughed at me out of the studio, and I was like, okay, bye. And yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Okay, like, but no, it took a long time. Remember whenever I said my parents are very supportive? Yeah. I would not be able to do it if they weren't like willing to like give me a couple of years hanging around, because they're like, son, we thought you had like a stable career, and you're leaving it for this the TV tube. Like, I literally had to plead with them. I was like, guys, trust. Like, I got this. I see the vision. Please trust. I gotta stream, and I gotta make videos. I'm sure I can work out. And then, you know, they're like, oh, okay, son, I guess. But and then, you know, after a couple of years, I was like, I'm out. See you later. Thank you. Bye.
There you go.
It worked out. Thank God. Once again, sink or swim kind of deal.
Yep. No, absolutely. Trust me. Trust me. I kind of know that having that support from your parents and stuff like that. Hence why I've been living in my parents' house for 5 years at this point. But that's aside from the point.
That's aside from the point. Hey, you know, but I was there for like God. I was way older than 5 whenever my parents kicked me out.
Touche. I see what you did there. No,
you did pretty well, dude.
What, you think I'm just a simple person that just looks at the screen and say funny thing, do funny fishy well?
No, not at all. But fuck, what was it? But you mentioned like also like, you know, why do the animations in the videos? And I mentioned why, but I couldn't do it for long because. Right. Doing those animations in SFM, and it wasn't just me, it was also my brother, who also helps me with video editing nowadays.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So like we would spend like 2 weeks, maybe a week, just doing like the video aspect.
Okay.
And it would take months, literal months, just to make like seconds of animation, because not only was it tricky, I was like really fucking slow, and SFM was hard, and the models weren't good, and sometimes I'd spend like an unholy amount of money, like to like some person who was in the know that would do like a model rip of like Ganondorf. Like, please, there's no Ganondorf models on SFM with any like rigs or anything. Please, here to take all my money, and then they would give me the rig, and then I'd only like animate it for like fucking 10 seconds, and then we have to move on. So I had to start just doing videos that were only revolving around just editing, because. Okay. Editing, I can do fast. Animation, I'm dog shit at. Well, I mean, I'm really fucking slow, and it was my animation like skills were mid and growing, and I'm sure I could be a good animator if I like stuck at it, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because there are other much more talented and cool and funny people that can do it, and I love working with them, and it's a really good synergy kind of deal. Oh, so no, I'm happy with the role that I put myself in, and then whenever it worked out. Yes. Sorry for yapping.
No. Whenever this is a podcast. Yap all you want. I encourage it.
Fair enough, but I can hear the interjection. I want to hear it. But before I lose the train of thought, whenever the videos and the channel worked out to the point that I could, like commission friends, like it started with Pringus. Pringus McDingus did an animation of. You know, what was it? this has been a long time. Goku Black, who was black, and he animated like Goku Black, who was black, and Gary going, well, Patrick, and I was like, this is so good. Why is it sparking like an immense joy within me? Hold on, this is what I always wanted to do, but I couldn't because I couldn't animate it. And then thanks to Pringus McDingus, I went back to the formula of what if video, but with animated segments. And it's just gotten more and more crammed with animation with every video. And I'm gonna tell you, between you and me, I can't keep this shit up. The last video had like 55% animation commission, and keeping all this shit together is boggling my brain. It's exploding. But I really, really like the formula. I'll probably just tone it down a little bit more.
I mean, if the formula works, it works. I mean, obviously, people have certainly been coming in droves, especially with the recent turnout of videos that you've had and all the animations you've been able to stuff in there. I mean, it's like, if it wasn't working, I don't think you would be able to have the money to commission these people to do that stuff because of the lack of views that people weren't recognizing this stuff, you know?
It's a cycle. It's a money fucking like self-funding cycle thing. So, but I really like the outcome. So it's almost like an infectious drug where I'm like, Amber's like, honey, why are you commissioning like 57 animations for one video? And I'm like, you don't get it. It has to have everyone involved. And yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why in the last year, 2024, like you had said, you basically commissioned a motion picture's length worth of animations. All right.
Man, it's a lot. It's a damn lot. It's so much. Hot diggity.
I did want to ask one last little thing before we really talk about like the videos you are doing nowadays, more in depth or whatnot. Sure. Obviously, like, you know, you could make animations, you could make all this kind of content or whatnot, but obviously the emphasis for all of it was video games from the start or whatnot. What is it about video games that made you more or less like lean towards that and find like more or less a comfort in a place when it comes to games, especially like, you know, the Sonics or the Marvel vs. Capcom and such?
Maybe I'm stupid. I'm trying to like quite 100% understand the question. Like
what is it about what is it about video games that made you like go to that and find a good comfort place in that, like both growing up
as
and where you are
opposed
now?
to like other jobs or other genres of video making?
I was saying, I'm talking about like just like what made you love video games, point blank. Like just
dude, have you seen Sonic? He goes so fast. He's so quick, bro. Dude's insane. I was like 4 years old, and my uncle brought what do you guys call a Sega Genesis from America.
Okay.
And I was allowed to play that shit. And over here it's called the Mega Drive, and it looks cooler.
Yeah. I've heard about the Mega Drive.
But I didn't know that. So whenever I talked about the Sega Genesis, I would just get bullied for like talking about like some random shit. Like, oh my god, this stupid kid has like a Sega Genesis because his parents are too poor to afford like a Mega Drive. But it was because it was, you know, this is back before the internet existed and people knew anything about region locks or like other like areas and stuff like that. I didn't know until I was like in my 20s. I was like, wait a second. That's why we had this weird one. I thought they just upgraded it because whenever it finally broke, we had to get a Mega Drive later. And I was like, oh my god, it's so much cooler and neater, and why's it got a different name? Oh well, whatever. And I was like 4 years old and I was playing Sonic 1, and I'd play that shit, and it was absolutely fucking captivating. And then I got to the water level and he'd start drowning, and it was traumatic, and I'd scream and I'd run over and I'd turn off the Mega Drive, and my mom would like invite people over to laugh at me at how funny it was seeing this stupid fucking toddler run across the room and turn off the Mega Drive.
Look, if I turn off the Mega Drive, Sonic doesn't die. I need to save Sonic.
Have you played Sonic 3?
Yes, I have played Sonic.
Do you know the not even like the final boss? Do you know the mid boss where you like it's just like a shooting like fire out of the top?
Yes.
And like you have an opportunity to like, you know, kind of like damage it, but you can't kill it. Mm-hmm. And like before you kill it, it shoots all of its rockets, and the whole screen covers in fire, and it's just a screen transition to a more fiery version of the level. I didn't let that transition finish. I just went, ah! And I turned that shit off. Like I was like, Sonic got sent to hell, and I gotta turn the fucking Mega Drive off. No, like it took me days to get past that transition to the next part of the game because I didn't know it was like a scripted scene.
For you, Sonic 3, Sonic fucking dies.
Yeah, and Knuckles.
And Knuckles.
Eventually, man. God, fuck that drum. The drum in the fucking like casino
I think
circus. Yeah, the circus one.
Yeah.
I forget the zone stages. Like 4-year-old Lee would be so disappointed in me right now. I'm so mad.
I mean, you say that, but also seeing the amount of video games that adult Lee plays, 4-year-old Lee would be like, "How? How do you get this?"
I would love to think he'd still be like, "You changed, man. You don't even remember what the actors call from Sonic 3. I don't care. I don't care if the animation at the start of your videos has been commissioned and looks like fucking Pixar." and then he stabs me.
Why does 4-year-old you have a knife?
Bro, he's scary.
And you know what? As 4-year-old you does scare me too. I think I'll be gladly keeping my distance in America if that's the case.
That's right. You better watch out.
But I love how kind of the love for the video games and that love for animation evolved into kind of the stuff that you're making nowadays. Because by God, I've said it a million times before and I'll say it a million times again, your videos are easily one of the most irritating videos of all time. I cannot tell you the amount of times that like I've rewatched some of your videos. I've fallen to sleep just having your videos on my TV in front of me or whatnot. Like,
have you gotten scared awake by Gary screaming?
I have not, no, because I'm very like it's tough for me to get to sleep, but whenever I am asleep, I'm out like a night. I'm out like a light. So yeah.
That's funny. I'm kind of the same though, to be fair. Like, I'm actually like, I thank my stars every day that I'm so good at falling asleep. Like, anytime I ever have trouble falling asleep, I'm like, holy shit, how do you people do it?
Right?
Fuck. Insomnia must be an absolute fucking bitch.
Well, my dad has insomnia, so I can attest to that.
No, God damn it! Send him my regards. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness. No, but like, it does leave me curious though. What exactly is the process like for you to develop like a video? Like, how do you go from like, oh, this would be like a fun idea to, hour and a half, 2 hour long video with 50% animation? Like, how do you get from point A to point B?
So the process is supposed to be make video, and then like in the vain attempts to try and make sure that retention's high, promise another video for minimum amount of views. Usually it gets got because that's usually the kind of like let's say like threshold that my videos will get. I'm not like, whenever I say like at least like 2 million views and then I'll do this kind of video, I don't do that just like purely out of greed. It's more just kind of like it's kind of like a safety net for whenever YouTube fucking explodes my videos and blows them up. Because like whenever that happens, that's whenever like the viewership, like that's the only thing that really like threatens all of our livelihoods, as I'm sure you're very well aware of.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but I'm sure like even whenever, oh my God, like I'm trying not to say the word like counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because of my very, very like faint accent being picked up as me saying a different type of C word by YouTube.
Yep.
It's a common problem. Like it's kind of crazy. And so whenever I like say like I'll do this kind of video, I'm kind of like already like geared towards doing it because rarely will like fuck up. I mean, if it does, then I'll be like, all right, I'll just do a different video. But this at least tells me that people want to see this kind of video. Right now I have to do a Smash one because I promised the Smash one from the last one, and I'm like, okay, well now we have to do like Smash. I gotta like open up the game. I gotta do a stream. It's not set in stone because there's stuff like the Half-Life video and the Lethal Company video and the Mario 64 one. Like none of those were meant to be videos, but whenever like I'm playing, whether it's on or off stream, if it's insanely funny, I'm like, holy shit, I have to, like, I'm inspired to make a video of this because if I'm already laughing this hard, imagine what it could be with a bit of spit, shine, and polish and editing and videos. And videos and animations is what I meant to say. And that's where it goes from there. And I'm like, okay, right. So we've got the footage.
Yep.
The footage is being recorded one way or another, whether it was like accidental and we needed to record it, or it was intentional and we're here and we recorded it, and the expectations are set, which is a little bit more stressful because it's kind of like if you're halfway through the project and it's like something that you promised to do, that's too bad. don't go back in your word, otherwise you'll lose like, you know, the relationship and the trust that you have with your viewers.
Absolutely.
So you just do your best. Like, for example, there was a Dragon Ball video that we did, and it was actually meant to be a raid boss with a bunch of mods. It's the one with like Lego Beerus and Chilai, and that was meant to be one of the videos where it's like, okay, we're gonna fight against these characters, and I think that would have been a good formula with those mods. However, Bandai Namco updated the game, and raid bosses are no longer a thing. They're gone. Just poof, gone. They're not the thing anymore, and I'm very annoyed about it. And we'll see if we're able to like figure that out later, because I got really big plans for another video of that type in the far, far future. But whenever that happens, it's like, that's too bad. You have to do it, because like everyone recorded it, everyone put their lines on, you know, everyone like showed up. It's time to do the best that you can. So we just turned it into like a compilation kind of video instead, where we just like, you know, we just used all the mods that were commissioned. And all right, now I go through like the process of what's worth clipping, what's worth holding. And this part is like one of the hardest parts for me. I hate clipping. I hate it so much. If there's like, I'd say Wurgle is most known for doing all the really awesome sound design in my videos. But if I'm gonna be real, he will help me just chop shit up to make it from like a 5-hour project down to like a 2-hour or even an hour and a half, and then I can like, it's so much more palatable for me to go like scrub through it and crush it down, because I hate hearing myself. I hate going through like stuff that I already know the outcome for. It takes a long time for me to get into it.
I'm unfortunately kind of the opposite with this thing.
Oh, really?
Like, at least when it comes to like this podcast, because the way that I leave this thing for the most part mostly unedited. But then again, like, this is like simple, straightforward like conversation instead of, you know, finding the funny moments or finding the fun situations in like hours of content. You know,
hours of content. Whenever it's like a podcast, like so for example, like I fucking despise clipping stuff. However, whenever me, topspinthefuzzy, and Tai Cheesy, we did a little podcast ranting about Final Fantasy VII. And I was like, I will clip that for you. I just straight up said I would do it, because it's a different kind of vibe, where it's like, hey, we need to go through it. And all I'm doing is I'm just trying to make it a little bit faster, a little bit snippier, removing like the coughing and the stuttering and stuff like that. And that's a much more simple process. But whenever I'm doing the clipping for my videos, I have to keep in mind, okay, what context will I need to keep?
Yeah.
I almost have to watch this fucking video 3 times before I know what should be staying. And by the time I get through from one point to the end, with it being like 5 to maybe even 10 or even maybe more hours long, depending on how fucking long the game is, like, shit, what do we keep? I don't remember. So it's just a really long, arduous process of like clipping it on, going it over again. And like, oh god, I hate it. It's maddening. I hate it. Thank you, Wurgle. thank you for clipping that shit down. Like, nothing would have gotten done at this point, because I'm getting so tired of clipping. I'll still do it. The likes of compilations. So like, for example, if I'm gonna do like a video that's like, you know, oh, that was really funny, clip that, and then I just like go to Elgato and I record like the last like 20 seconds. That's so much easier, because the funny thing is already there, and then it can be like thrown into a fucking melting pot full of other funny things. But whenever it's like a dedicated stream or playthrough, that's really hard for me to cut through. I find that really, really fucking tricky.
I can imagine.
And so then that's that segment. And then the next step is, okay, what's gonna be animated and what's gonna be edited? Yeah. You know, because, you know, most of it's just like funny dialogue, text, PNG thrown in there, and you know, I shake at the PNG, like that's what I'm doing over here. But sometimes I'll be able to do like sillier stuff or more intense edits. Like I'll have to open up like After Effects to get really granular about like an effect or something. But the rule of thumb is, if something really funny happens, okay, is it necessary to see what happened in the game to know what the joke is? Right. You know, for example, like say a gun officer has kicked Shadow the Hedgehog. I fucked up the rule because I've commissioned an animation of Shadow getting kicked by a gun officer, and the reason why we're laughing is because how goofy it looked in the game. So Like I tried to like facilitate it like that. If there's funny things happening, if there's nothing visually happening, if there's no visual like stimulus, if we're just playing a fucking video game and it's just gameplay, like expected gameplay of just like bog standard platforming, that's definitely going to at least be considered for an animation, like 100%. If it's not going to be an animation, it's definitely going to be like heavily like polluted with PNGs or Fugies, where you'll see like four like our fucking like animated things like in the corner like yapping away, and I'm talking back and forth, and that's fun.
No, that's honestly very valid. I was gonna say, like, you were talking about like how the kind of like one kind of leads into the other, like in a sense of like, you know, is the thing that we're talking like, do we need the visual for it, or do I need to create a visual for it? For some reason, like when you're talking about that, the first animation that came to mind is from someone that actually you game with a lot, Alfred, aka paperboxhouse, for the shadow video, that the most recent one he did, or I don't think it was the most recent one, but it was one of the videos. It's like, yeah, I don't see what's up with this, movie. I don't know what's up with this movie or whatnot. Can't be extremely goofy, ooh, or what, like, shadow in the theater with the shadow in the theater with the goofy movie thing or whatnot, or extremely goofy movie one.
Yes, and we were that was just me running from one side of the hub to the other. So like visually, you would have just seen Shadow the Hedgehog like walking down a street.
Yep.
And it's up to the viewer's imagination to think of like, the gag that Gary and Alfred are putting in their head, or sorry, are putting on the table of like, I don't get what's so cool. It's every movie's goofy to me. There's no way this movie. And then, I was like, Alfred, this has to be animated. You got to animate it.
Yep.
He fucking hates animating. He's like, no, I'm a storyboard artist. I'm like, you got to do it. You got to animate. You got to put in like another frame there. I would watch him like do it in Discord, and he's like, please, like, I refuse, no more. And he's like, no, you got to do the animation. And then it was really funny. It was a fantastic like outcome, and it's a fantastic joke. And like me and Alfred we were literally like sitting in like a Smash Bros tournament that I went to a month ago in America. I was visiting my wife's family.
Nice.
And I was also helping her out with like an artist alley thing. And I was like, hey, I know we're doing the artist alley thing. And I was doing it, strenuously. Oh, she just sent me a DM saying she's done the dishes. That was very difficult. I'm so sorry. Let me just type a big thank you to her before I continue yapping about banning her from her artist alley.
Yeah, thank your wife, aka Artist Crooked Glasses, fantastic artist. Yes. If you guys have not already, and again, absolutely, and someone else I need to bring on the podcast. There's a lot of, I'm gonna be blunt. There's a lot of people that you've had, whether it's your buddies or your animators or whatnot, or if they're both or whatnot, that I just need to bring on this podcast because they're just so fucking talented.
They're so cool. I love Crooked Glasses so much. I want to marry her.
Aren't you married to her?
Yes, I am. That's true. Don't worry, I'm an idiot. But I'm her idiot forever.
But you're her idiot, okay? That's what
correct.
Makes sense.
Yes. Fuck. So yeah, me and Alfred were just sitting at the because paperboxhouse and Devon were also there. They're just sitting in the bleachers, like cheering me on. I did really fucking well, actually. I got like 5th fucking place. I don't even play this game no more. I was knocking heads. It was crazy. And Alfred was like, "Wouldn't it be so funny? Would it be so funny if like Ganondorf was against like Paper or Game & Watch, and he there was just a rotoscoped animation of him like crinkling paper Game & Watch up like a paper ball and then like threw it through a fucking like basketball hoop." Yep. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. So that's a spoiler. I'm definitely looking to have that in like the video. Hey, so sometimes it's just some like back and forth banter.
Absolutely.
Just back and forth ideas. I don't know who's gonna do it, but it'll happen one way or the other. Yeah, and
someone's gonna do it, definitely.
Somebody.
I was also gonna say, like, it's funny that you mentioned Alfred or whatnot, because funny enough, I actually met him in person last year at MomoCon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I said thank you for all he did or whatnot. I bought one of his prints. I even gave him my business card to see if he would hop on the podcast. We're still working on that part, but yes, because I am the nerd that would bring business cards to a convention, but it works.
We all got business cards. It was a requirement. I had to make business cards to get into E3. The last one before it fucking died.
Right.
Exploded.
Right. Absolutely.
R.I.P.
I'll say, to be fair, I did just pay for new business cards because I had a new logo on the podcast compared to my previous one. As a matter of fact, it's ironic I bring this up. So this is my previous business card right here. Nice little dude or whatnot. And this is the old logo. So I made some new ones recently that have the new logo on it and such. But yeah,
Hey.
because I'm going to a convention next month, MegaCon in Orlando.
Oh, man, where's Orlando?
Florida. So go to Atlanta.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I know. No,
but I actually haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of MegaCon.
yeah, MegaCon. It's more of it's more of like a celebrity kind of con. Like you go there to see like X amount of like TV star or movie star that you want to see or whatnot. So yeah. Which I mean, it's cool. I'm mainly going because like me and a group of my buddies or whatnot, we're all gonna be getting together. This is like the last time we met was MegaCon, MomoCon.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we're getting together again to do like another one, but this one we're focusing less on the con and more about just doing stuff in Florida, just in general. Hopefully staying alive, but that's a whole. I'll let you know.
Right.
I'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Dap him up once for me, like, you know, all things well and good. You know, this shit's a struggle, man.
Oh my god, no. Well, see, here's the funny thing. My mom used to live down there, so I'd go down there for like summers and winters or whatnot. So yeah, I know how much of a struggle it can be sometimes.
I'm pretty sure it's awful during the summer. Like, isn't it like?
It can be because it could be like really humid. A lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it can either be really humid or it's like raining all the time. But like usually it would always rain for like the same time just about every single day, like usually about like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it can either rain the rest of the evening or like just a little bit, but then the sun comes back out and it just becomes even more humid than it was before. Yeah.
I tap out. I can deal with the cold, you know, being Irish, you know.
Humidity just breaks you.
It's still like, I mean, I wouldn't call it humidity, but I mean, it is technically humid because like we're surrounded by ocean.
Yes.
So there's a lot of damp in Ireland.
Yes.
But because it's not often all that, like, you know, heat, there's not that much heat. It's not like the damp that like makes you really like fucking uncomfortable. It's the damp that cracks your fucking bones. So old age sucks over here because our homes aren't dry enough.
Yeah, no, I
don't have to deal with that right now. Just yet. Maybe in 2 more years, my arm will fall off. I'm like, if only I lived in Florida. Where the only setback was muggy weather. Do you guys call it muggy?
Yeah, we call it muggy. We call it muggy. We call it muggy down here.
Okay. I had an ex that I visited in Toronto, and they'd always say like, "It's so muggy, eh?" I'm like, oh, what's that mean? What are your currencies, loonies and toonies? That's hilarious.
That's the one that I will always laugh at, no matter what. Just the money is literally just cartoon character, like essentially.
It's great. It's so good.
It's so great to hear, obviously, as well, like you getting the opportunity to talk to to meet such incredible people and such. And I think they're part of the reason why your videos are always so entertaining, just having all these different people and friends.
Absolutely.
And whatnot. Especially when it comes to
100% agree.
Yeah, like the shenanigoons or whatnot. Like, first off, how did you meet even most of them? Or like generally,
Don't worry. I'm just throwing my phone. Here I go.
Yeet.
So I met I mean, I assume you're going to ask. Oh, that's so funny. Olamau. Okay, I had to check my phone, dude. Okay, so remember whenever we were talking about? Sorry for the side. Remember whenever we were talking about, you know, Algo Daddy YouTube saying like, hey, you better not be doing anything like terrible.
What's up?
I uploaded a video, a VOD to or all of my VODs to my secondary channel, and I was making thumbnails for them like 2 days ago.
Yep.
And the moment I make like a stupid fucking like thumbnail that's definitely referencing like not the purest of like fucking like jokes, it's crazy. They fucking clapped my video before it even went public just on the thumbnail alone.
Oh, that's ridiculous. What?
No, but it is funny though. Like it's interesting. So like here's a little tiny bit of here's a really quick PSA for anyone who's like very like confused with the algorithm. It checks everything. It's not just your footage. It's your thumbnails. It's your titles. Even the description
Yep.
is scanned. Everything. Comments. If people are like, if you say like a sex joke and it's like, it's so funny that everyone's repeating the sex joke in comments, congratulations. You've painted a giant target on the back of your head and YouTube will clap that video.
Damn.
So maybe I shouldn't even fucking say this, because if more people find out, I'm like, okay, I know how to kill this man's videos. I'm just gonna say dick, 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 dick. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Anyways, I put my phone down. Okay,
Yes,
no, sorry. Meeting shenanigans. Oh, so
shenanigans. There you go.
It's so silly. So, specifically, I can talk about like Gary and Javi.
Yep.
So I went to Las Vegas.
Nice.
Man, this would be so much easier if Javi and Gary were here. They remember other aspects of like the memories, and then we like put them together like a puzzle piece. But I'll do my best. I'm going to carry the brain load right now. So I went to Vegas to excuse me. I went to Vegas to play at Evo because it was the biggest tournament ever. I would travel the world. I would go to France. I would go to Paris. I would go to Nice. I would go to England. I went to a couple of places in America. I went to like Atlanta, and then I was like, well, I really, really should go to the biggest tournament, Evo in Vegas. Like, fuck it. And all my parents and anyone who I told was like, oh no, you're gonna gamble and lose everything. I still to this day, man, the only gambler, Balatro,
baby,
Balatro. But yeah, no, I didn't bother with any of the casinos. I was just there to knock some heads, do the best I can. But I was there like by myself entirely, and I was okay with that. I kind of like didn't mind like skulking around, and nobody really recognized me because even though I had like a YouTube presence, I didn't back then, and still don't really put my face in the videos. So there was a tournament before Evo in Vegas, in like what's it called? Like it was like Plus One Gaming or something.
Okay.
Press Start Gaming, I think. It was like a barcade, where it's not really a barcade, but it was an arcade of sorts, like a cafe arcade where you like go and you use the internet and you can rent a computer or you can rent a console.
Okay.
And they had like little events there where they were like, okay, before all of the the world's craziest bastards show up to beat our asses at Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter, we're gonna hold a tournament here locally in Vegas in a different place. And if you go to a big event like Evo, and if you're interested in like fighting games, I do recommend going like a little bit wider of a window of time than specifically the event, because you might be able to find stuff like this where you're like, oh, there's an event happening before the event, like a pre-event. And I went there, and I entered a tournament, but there was nowhere to go, and I was waiting for my turn. So I was just kind of like wandering and meandering around the fucking like venue. And I just heard someone in the background just going, "Get out of Akuma!" I was like, "Huh?" It was Gary yapping and billowing away, and cheering on like an Akuma player. And Akuma, despite being like Justin Wong's best like character, nobody else could really play Akuma like Justin Wong. So anytime like Akuma is like on the screen, he's kind of like the underdog. So like Gary was just like hyping him up and just yelling in the background. He was just being belligerently loud and incredibly obnoxious, and I was like, this guy doesn't give a fuck. Holy shit. I gotta know more. So I started yapping with him. It's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hi, what's up? And we were just like talking back and forth, talking about Marvel, but not really. We're also just like enjoying spectating the matches. And then we had to play each other in the tournament. He was my first opponent.
Oh shit.
So we'd already said our highs and buys, and like I went like somewhere else. Like it was just I didn't even know his name. I was like, that's just a funny guy who's really loud. Right. Okay, well, anyways, moving on with my life. Not gonna let it ruin my day. And and then I was like, hello. Oh shit, we're playing. And he's like, yeah. And then I picked Phoenix Wright, and he's like, oh, that's funny. And then he picks Ghost Rider. I'm like, Ghost Rider? Why are you playing Ghost Rider? And he's like, oh, because I'm going to fucking kill you. He already knew that he'd won by the time I picked my character, because Javier, I Heart Justice, is a Phoenix Wright man. Okay. The reason why he plays Phoenix Wright is because Gary taught him to play Phoenix Wright because he was finding a team. Like, so essentially, Javi was like, I want to play this character and maybe this character and see what you can get. And Gary found out that Doctor Strange and Captain America and Phoenix Wright was a phenomenally well synced up team. Like the synergy is off the charts.
Okay.
Like that is a sleeper high tier team because of the Maya Shield and the Eye of Agamotto. Like, it's really hard to get past it. And because he taught him to play Phoenix Wright, Gary also knew exactly how to beat Phoenix Wright. And he can beat Phoenix Wright with specifically Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider only has to do Eat Chain, which is a move where he just throws a bunch of like fire, and Maya gets fucking obliterated. Like, she just explodes. So this guy Furio's me, like essentially perfects me. I'm left in pieces like, yeah, okay. Good, GG's, I guess. Cool. It's like, okay, bye, loser, and then that's it. I don't see him again. It isn't until the next. Oh, man, this is really long-winded. It's just funny to reminisce, I guess.
It's good to reminisce.
I did okay later. I wasn't like knocked out of the tournament. I climbed back up. I got on stream. I think I played against Alucard.
Okay.
Another really cool guy, really cool player. And I was just able to get a win on stream. Like, yeah, oh my god. If you get a win on stream, like, man, it doesn't matter how bad you do in the tournament. Like, if you get a win on stream, like that's magical. But then I was like walking around the casinos trying to find where to go the next day. And then I recognized Gary because he's so fucking easily recognizable. This guy is a giant. He is 6 foot. Fucking Jesus! I think he's 6'7".
Oh damn!
He's at least around 6. He's well over 6 foot. I can confirm that much. He's a tall guy.
Okay.
Maybe not 6'7". Maybe I'm mixing the height up with my brother, my little giant brother, who's like actually like really fucking tall. But I was like, oh shit, hey, and he's like, hey. I was like, are you going here? And he's like, I don't know where to go. I'm lost. And I was like, oh, that's okay. We can be lost together.
There you go.
And it was then that I discovered that he wasn't even able to walk to certain places, even though the casinos are all like interlinked and they're a big open floor. There are literal like lines in the floor that you legally cannot cross if you aren't over 21. And mind you, this is like 10 years ago. Gary still wasn't like of legal age to be walking around like the gambling areas. So I had to like meander around with him because I'm that dude that won't walk on ahead when you got to tie your shoelaces, Nathan. I will wait for you to tie your shoelaces. We stick together, hips together strong. And I was like, all right, we'll go around the long ways. And because we were like stuck, like trying to find our ride to go there, we ended up meeting with Javi because Javi and Gary were already like, they were already homies by the time I met them.
Okay.
And the fucking like, fuck the like fighting game synergies that they've lost. Or sorry, fuck the fighting game synergies that they know. Gary and Javi's like comedy synergy is insane because Gary is large and obnoxious, and Javi is like he's like witty and dry. So like that like combination was just so fucking funny to me. I was like, I'm going to hang around until you tell me to fuck off, essentially. And it wasn't until later that they're like, hey, you're that fucking guy who's like makes Phoenix Wright videos. So like, you know, whenever you're in the fighting game scene, if there's like content for your fighting game, you probably know each other, like straight up. It's not even like a fame thing or like, oh my god, so many video or so many subscribers. It's just, hey, we both like the same video game and we know that you're passionate enough about that game to make videos. Therefore, we know about you. Like, I know another friend of mine, Zanzikin, because we both would like go to like a stream that was hosted on Twitch back whenever the game was first up, where a streamer called Gunmetal would host like just an open lobby and he would stream it, and he sucked and his stream was mean, but that's okay because I find a lot of my friends through that means. And like it was really history beyond that point. We all just like kind of clicked and we kept in contact. And that one time where I was supposed to only go to Evo just 1 year turned into a terrifying constant reminder that I have to go to Vegas every fucking year. It's so expensive and it's so far away from Ireland. I fucking hate it. But yeah, no, they're too crazy. They're too insane for me to like leave alone for too long. So
right.
I have fun visiting there, and you know, they were already like involved in like streaming and stuff. Like Gary streams. he's been streaming longer than I have. He was streaming back whenever it was called fucking Justin TV.
There you go. Yeah, I was trying to remember what it was called back then, because I've heard I've heard other podcasts where people are mentioning that kind of stuff. I didn't watch Justin TV. I didn't know streaming was a thing, you know, well into like after I got into like college and stuff like that. So yeah, it's
that's right, young whippersnapper.
I know, right? I'm only like
welcome to the wonderful saturated world of online content.
I will say though, last time I checked, I think I'm only like 6 or 7 years younger than you.
What? How dare you? I'm 45. There's no way.
Oh, 45. Okay, that I need to redo
no,
the math.
I'm lying. Don't worry about it. No, please. No. I'm going to get nuts.
I will say though, like, it's really cool how that sparked, like, you know, basically the cool friend group that you've basically gotten this day, and like have some of the incredible videos and the fun times and whatnot. And again, that leads into also like not only the good times you have in the videos, but also the really cool animations, seeing how their interactions get brought to life with so many incredible artists, such as, you know, like ones that we mentioned before: Pringus McDingus, Redminus, Crooked Glasses, Dovid, Zeurel, Sojin, Silent Man Joe, topspinthefuzzy, and former guest of the podcast, Dubus Goobus.
You know, caught emoji. I definitely was like looking through, and I was like, "Fuck." Nathan's already talked to Goobus.
Yep.
I can't say no. I can't say no. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. So take this however way you want. Anytime I'm asked for like an interview or a podcast, I've always said no. Just straight up. Every time I'll just say no. I just don't like doing interviews. I don't like doing like public appearances. That's a heavy no. But whenever I saw it, like, oh, he's already talked to Goobus, like, fuck it, like, straight up, I'll put my like heart in my sleeve right now. I'll just tell you, like, whenever I saw that you were already like clearly going around, like, you're clearly like enthusiastic about doing this. You've gotten like what, 200 podcasts?
Yeah, I literally just. Like, at the time that I'm recording this, I literally just hit my 200th episode of the podcast.
Holy shit! Wait, am I number 2?
No. 100? You're gonna be, if things go right, you should be number 202.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. Too lit.
I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry.
That was so close.
So close. Oh well. I guess it would be oh, there you go. There he is.
I'm good.
No, but like, back to what I was saying, like with all these incredible artists and animators or whatnot, like, what made you ultimately decide to like add them, like, or how did you get to know some of them, and what made you want to like add some of their animations to your stuff? Like, because I know you had said before that, like, you know, Pringus was more or less like one of the first people to add something to it, but like, well, ultimately it just be like, hey, it'd be cool to like really get all these incredible artists and add their stuff to the video.
To preface this question with I don't know, just to set expectations. Almost all the animators that I've worked with have all been like, hey, what about that animator that I like always looked up to, well, like growing up, you know, back whenever I was talking about like watching Newgrounds after school,
right?
Oh my god, fucking like that's why I would approach like Zeurel, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. And I approached like fucking Dovad. Hell, actually, me and Dovad were kind of like already friends, and then I was like, wait a minute, you're that fucking dude. So almost all of the animators I work with have just either been like friends or people who I always wanted to, like, you know, I wouldn't say always wanted to hire, because that's like a weird, like almost sinister vibe to the thing, because I never really thought that. I've always just been like, man, I sure hope one day I can grow up to be as cool and talented as this dude. And now it's like, well, I can't, and I chose not to, and I'm okay with that. But like, God, it's almost even better to just be able to like work with them in any capacity whatsoever. So that was my motivation to like reach out to those people. And the setting expectations is like, I do sadly get probably about 3 to 4 emails a week from other aspiring, really talented, often hyper cool animators,
right,
asking to, like, you know, be involved. So half the time it's me approaching people that I know, and another fraction has definitely been people like approaching me. And now it's gotten to the point that I'm literally commissioning too many animations for it to be sustainable now.
Right.
And I've had to hard cut and be like, I'm so sorry. Your stuff is so cool. I'm literally one dude. I can't work with everyone anymore. Like it's impossible. I couldn't possibly make the videos to the degree of like polish that I want to upload without every bit of quality diminishing horrifically, or worse than that, you know, dropping off like previous animators that I've worked with. And I kind of like really like sticking with the group that, you know, I've been here from the start, ever since, like, you know, working it out. So yeah, it's pretty much, it's literally just been friends and people that I aspired to like contact with, and a couple that like approached me like in the early days, and I'm like, you know what, I've recognized your stuff, or I've seen your thing, or hell, there's some people that I've referenced, like I've even like so there's like Stray Scythe, who does like incredible like can really nail down someone else's style.
Yes.
And so they like 100% fucking like copied, like by my request, by the way. I was like, can you get this like down to a T? Stagger Knight's Earthspawn tribute. Have you seen that one? So there's, oh my god, it's so fucking funny. It's like, it's whenever like Ness and Lucas are like at the bus station, like, oh Lucas, what's up, my diggity dog? And they like they dap up.
Yep.
Oh
I know
my
exactly
god,
which one you're talking about.
Yeah, that one there. And then I asked Stray Scythe to like painstakingly like animate like me and Gary and Javi basically killing each other. Like these are like animations that I now have like on deck to like flash in a stream. Whenever like if Gary says some head ass shit, I need the animation of me and Javi being like, yeah, help me out here, PK, blast, kill this guy. I think I have it. Hold on, let me play it. This is me where I do the thing and I slow the whole fucking thing down.
No, you're perfectly good. You're perfectly good.
Of course, despite the fact that we're running out of time, League. Didn't have to do okay. The boop and then the thing, because I just got the voice acting down for it. Where is it? I think it's here. Is it here?
Is it here?
If I type in PK, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So like, say for example, if like Gary says some hell, if I say some head ass shit, it's like I bet it won't like play. We'll see. Maybe it'll be audio. Be wary. It might be a volume warning. Yeah, I don't even know if you heard that.
No, I didn't hear that, but I'll tell you what, if you want, because one, I remember seeing that several times whenever you were doing the best of 2024 video. But if you just want, again, if you want to send me that video, I'll edit it in, I'll splice it in like right here so that people can see exactly what we're talking about.
I think I go to media properties, advanced audio properties. That's the one, and then I click here, and then if I go like monitor only, let me try one done. Boop boop.
There you go. There you go. There you go. We got there in the end.
There'd be really cool like animators that do that kind of stuff, and both including Stray Scythe and Stagger Knight. And I'm like, damn, this stuff is such a good vibe. And please let me like work with you just once. It'll just be a one-off. And then, you know, sometimes an animator will be like, you know, fuck off. And I'm totally fine with that. I'll be grand.
No, that's valid. I mean, because in the grand scheme of things, like everyone's, you know, got their own thing or they're busy and they can or whatnot. But I mean, at the end of the day, seeing that kind of love and appreciation for these animators and giving them an opportunity on the platform that you've more or less developed with all these incredible, entertaining stuff with you and your friends or whatnot. That's why I can't help but love and appreciate what you're doing, Lythero. I mean, like,
thank you, man.
Like, genuinely, like I. You know, I've only discovered you recently, I'll say. I think I discovered you around the time you had Russian Badger, when you guys basically collaborated with each other with the boy. When you guys collaborated for the Marvel vs. Capcom, when he had that whole entire thing with like his buddies or whatnot.
That shit was so funny. Holy fuck.
It was so hilarious. But like ever since I've really had a chance to like really enjoy your stuff, like with all the different videos and all the different animations, I cannot personally get enough. But it leaves me curious. Do you have a personal favorite video? And do you have a personal favorite animation that you've had done?
Oh fuck, bro! You can't put me on the spot like that. Like that. To be fair, I do know. No, it's definitely the Silver Campion. Like the Sonic 06 video is just, man. Like it's not 100% like the antithesis. Well, I don't even know how to like pronounce this. Antithesis. It's not the entire like vibe of my channel, because like for one thing, fucking Javi isn't even in that one. It's because he's, you know, we were suffering through like Sonic video games with like Gary and Alfred and Topspin, and Topspin's such a fucking huge silver nerd, and Gary's really fucking loud, and his Sonic impressions like hilarious.
Yes, it is.
And then we already know why fucking Paper motherfucking Box House is there.
We all know why Alfred is there. There's no question about that whatsoever.
Right. But the fucking like Sonic 06 video, for those who don't know, it was haunting me for years, because that was whenever I was starting to make a change in my editing, where they were kind of low effort. I did the Sonic campaign, and I did the Shadow the Hedgehog campaign, and then I never did the silver one. So it was like a little in joke in my channel of people saying like, "When's the silver campaign?" And instead of it just petering out and dying, more and more commenters were like, "Hey, what the fuck is this like in joke about the silver campaign?" And then they would just echo chamber it, and it got louder and louder. So whenever we finally got to do it, I was like, "Fuck it, all the stops are off. I'm cramming this with as much like work as possible."
There you go.
And holy shit, it exploded. Soljin worked his ass off, by the way. Soljin's like,
oh my god, that intro animation alone that he did, like, fuck.
Yep. Oh Jesus. Little tiny shout out. He is like, oh man, I'm sure it's okay for him to mention this. I'll be vague as fuck about it. He's working on an animation for. No, it's already been mentioned. He's already discussed it. He's already talked about. So Devil Artemis is another animator who will also do some really rad stuff.
Okay.
He did like the animation of for example, one of the latest ones was Wario and Sonic at the bar, and yes. Sonic is drunk. And Wario's like, "No, you're gonna walk," and then I'm gonna walk, and he fucking explodes. That was all animated by Devil Artemis. He has a channel as well, and he's doing an animation. Soljin is specifically doing an animation on Devil Artemis's channel of Devil Artemis's goofy cell and Takahata's really funny fucking Team 4-Star cell fighting each other. And I can say Soljin is turning to dust with the amount of effort that he's putting into this. He's like, dude, I am dying. Like, this is the equivalent, apparently the equivalent of, not to put any expectations on the poor fucking hardworking lad, but he says this is like 4 silver campaign intros. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, please don't die. Please survive. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. I just wanted to mention that because, like, damn, he does such incredible work, and he does all from like grind up. He'll find like models from the games, and he'll be like, yeah, this isn't good enough. I'm gonna recreate this fucking model like from the ground up, and like he'll recreate like Black Doom from like, you know, he'll like have this bizarre necklace on his model, and Soljin will just recreate it so like all moves and it's real, and it's got bump map textures, and I'm gonna say jargon buzzwords so you think I know what I'm talking about. That's actually one thing that I do like about my background, because since I did technically do animation for a while, I do notice that a lot of the animators that I work with are at least relieved that I know terminology and direction and can give like reliable, like realistic expectations on what can be done with the amount of time. That's not to say that I don't give them horrific deadlines. I'm a terrible asshole. I'm like, hey, it needs to be done like this fast, and they're like, I want to see my family. I'm like, I know. I do too. It's okay. I always preface it with like, you don't have to do it, and they're like, fuck it, we ball. I'm like, all right, we ball.
Look, I'm not the one that's giving you the deadline. YouTube is giving you the deadline. Okay.
This YouTube, or it's always the sponsors. It's always the sponsors that call this out.
Fair.
And sometimes they'll change the deadline, and it's like, oh, I have this all organized and set up, and then there might be a coin toss where it's like, actually, no, it's this date, or like everything goes to shit. And I'm like, well, fuck. If we don't have it done, then there's no funding for the animation, and then there's no deadline, and there's no time for the animation to be done. So what do we do? And it's a matter of like for example, like doovadhohdan will be like, I'm gonna do this, but it's only gonna take 2 days because I'm gonna make Shadow the Hedgehog like slide in T-posing, and I'm like, perfect.
Yes,
it's great, you know, because like it's silly and funny too. Like he did 2 animations in there that's like a hyper like AAA fucking animation that reference like Puss in Boots Pick It Up, of Shadow kicking the gun across the floor. That was all Dovad, and it was like insanely well animated from start to finish. It was like production quality insane like quality. And then the other ones were like Shadow, like literally T-posing across the screen, and then smashing into the wall. And I'm like, this is how we get the thing done in time. But it's also still all a lot of fun. So I think everyone has a good time.
Yeah.
They tell me they do.
I'd like to hope so with some of the insane scenarios you like to present to them, and for some people, like, I imagine for some people they get like just the ridiculous audio, and it's like there is never gonna be an opportunity that I'm gonna get to bring this ridiculous thing to life. So fuck it, we ball, Yeah.
Oh, that's true. This is a lifeline to anyone who works with me. If you're pissed off at doing this stuff, just let me know. I'll dissolve into the ether. Don't worry about it. The last thing I want to do is like stress him or not. But we all seem to get along really well. You know what? I think this is a nice opportunity to say I don't think I've had a single negative experience with like any of the animators that I've worked with ever.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that's really fucking cool to mention. Actually, I like bragging about how fucking rad everyone is. Like, I love this job so much.
I mean,
it's fucking cool, man.
It really is. Like you get to game, and then you turn around, you put funny videos together. You get cool animators you pay cool animators to really bring stuff to life, and you put out something that you can turn around and you can watch and you have a good time. And literally thousands, if not millions, of other people can also turn around and have a good time watching that kind of stuff. Like
some people have sent some insane messages, someone says like Lythero's Marvel video was so good I almost got laid. I'm like, oh no. Clearly there's more work to be done. Clearly it wasn't that funny, dude. Like, we got more work to do. But yeah, it's funny.
You gotta get on that grind set, all right? Get your money up, not your funny up.
That's right. God, that Russian Badger thing was so funny because it was really only Gary, and then Gary was like, can I drag like this unfunny white boy in? And they were like, okay. And that was the first day was him like playing with all of them, like just he was like coming from like Gary is a wonderful teacher. Like, he's really, really good at teaching people fighting games, as is Javi. Javi literally like does it, like he coaches on Metafy. But Gary was like, I'm here to teach you all how to play this game, because none of them knew how to play Marvel beyond like mash the buttons. And whenever I showed up the second day, I was like, okay, so Gary's taught you how to play the game, right? And they were all like, yeah, no, we already know like how to play it and stuff. And it's like, so did he like stop sandbagging? And they were like, what do you mean sandbagging? And then I just kind of like, oh, okay, that's good. Well, in that case,
Balatro.
And then I killed them all. With X Factor. It was awful. But yeah, no, it's good.
That's great. Oh, and your model.
Oh god!
Again!
It's screwed up.
Oh,
shut up, you stupid music. Oh my god. I can't believe I pressed the button too fast. Where is it? There we go. Hush, you. Be quiet. Oh my god. That didn't work at all.
That was really well done.
It didn't work. The ending didn't work. It was supposed to be, and then now I'm back, but I pressed the button too fast. So, oh well. Sorry about that. No, but yeah, no, I killed them. I killed them with X Factor and Phoenix Wright and Turnabot, and they're like, oh my god.
And then you turned them to gambling with Balatro.
And then I turned into gambling with Balatro. Man, I love Balatro.
Yeah, I can tell, because in fact that's what's on the screen right now.
God, I wonder if I could play on like my Xbox controller. Nathan, we're not interviewing you. How well can you play poker?
I mean, I've lost all the money that I've ever had whenever I play poker, so.
Oh, have you gambled with poker?
I have gambled before. That's partially because like there was one time to where I was on a cruise ship with like my mom and her roommate, and when you're on a cruise or whatnot, you just kind of all bets are off, figuratively and literally. So
Yeah,
I've done some of the slot machines, and I've done like roulette, but that's like the most of it. I haven't done like a poker table or anything like that. So.
You're gonna win today. We're gonna beat the first level, and it's gonna take like 40 seconds. All right. We got 4 hands and we got 4 discards. That means up to 5 cards we can play or discard at any time. Okay. So I'm only do what you tell me to do. Like, let's try and make the best poker hand we can make out of like the cards that we get dealt.
Okay. I feel like at this point the best thing to probably do would be to get rid. I don't know. Well, because I know we got the 2 sets of 2 that we have right there, or whatnot. But there's a good chance we could also get a full house or something along the lines of that if we give like a
Yeah.
I think the
Do
best.
you want to fish for a full house?
Yeah, let's fish for a full house. Yeah, let's see about getting rid of.
So we want to get rid of like say these 4 cards and see what else we get.
Not the 2, but one of the 3. Oh, actually no, because we need the 2s. Or no, we need the 3s. Yeah, get rid of those. Let's see what happens.
All right, discard. Boop. What do we got? Nothing yet, but we got 3 more discards.
We got 3 more discards. We do got a bit of a small run going on though with that 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we do. We almost have a streak going here. Unfortunately, we threw away the 2 that you almost.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about that.
God damn it! Okay, they're taking the mortgage, Nathan. They're taking the mortgage.
I can't. No, I need the house. I need the house.
We do have 4 hearts cards. A flush is on the table as well.
Okay. We do have that. Let's go for the flush. Let's see how that works out.
All right, fuck it. Let's discard these. The wolf that chases 2 hares wins because we got a flush. Do we want to play this?
Yeah, let's play it. Let's see what we get.
All right, play. Damn, he's good, chat.
Let's
fucking
go.
He's good. He's good. Well done. Well done. Oh, you're a Balatro nerd. No, he did it.
I am a Balatro
He fucking
nerd.
did it. Hell yeah.
Let's go gambling.
Oh no, God. It's quite funny, unfortunately, how that game's getting a lot of scrutiny over it being like poker. So it's like it's being like labeled as a 18 plus game. The dev is like he's put on like he's put what do you call it, like patents so that casinos can't legally steal the ideas because the casinos are like, oh boy, let's cash in on this. Let's like hone in on the addictiveness of the gameplay, and he's not letting that happen. But Peggy is still making it like an 18 plus rating.
Yeah,
which is fucked up because why the fuck is a Mario 64 and the DS also a Peggy 18? Because fucking Luigi and his bitch ass poker like laying hand ass also did the same thing.
Poker is what's going to ruin apparently the Peggy system apparently. Goodness, but I at least want to getting back to the interview once again. That was a fun little aside.
Sorry.
No, that was a fun
I'm
aside,
sorry.
and I'm definitely leaving that in the video. You bet your ass I'm gonna leave that in the video.
Hell yeah.
No, but like all I was trying to get at is like, you know, having all these like incredible people with all these incredible stuff. Like it has to be really cool thinking about your art journey and your content creation journey as a whole or whatnot. Like it's gotta be really surreal thinking how far you've been able to come along and how much you've been able to grow.
I thank my stars every day. It is really difficult. Like, so I will like, the editing can get to the point where it's like, I don't feel like doing it. I'm going to play fucking Balatro or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege because I don't care. And then Futurely is like, I'm turning into dust. Why did you let this happen?
Right.
Or sometimes it literally is just really, really difficult. Sometimes I'm given a deadline that I wasn't aware of. And then by the time, because like sponsors expect a video to usually take like no more than a week or 2, right?
Right.
And that's how a lot of YouTubers will do their videos. Like I only do like 5 to 6 videos a year because they're so fucking packed. They're such a huge project. And I'm literally like, whenever it gets to the last 2 weeks, it's a matter of wake up, edit, and do nothing but edit until I fall asleep. There's some eating somewhere in between. Yeah. And that's it for the next 2 weeks. Like the crunch is probably the most insane thing that I've ever encountered. And that's not a good thing for me. And I know some animator friends that I work with kind of do the same sort of deal, as much as I beg them not to do it because it's like, it's not healthy. And then I go and interact with like normal people and they ask what my job is. And I try to describe it and they're like, oh, so you're playing video games. Oh, that must be so nice. That must be so easy. And I'm like, yeah. I just play the video game, man.
That's all I do. Nothing but games. All games.
I just play the video game. Like playing the video game sadly takes up like 5%.
Yeah.
Oh, God, not even 5%. It takes up like fucking 2% of the time. I guess like 4% if you count all the times where I have to open up the game to get like a specific angle, and I'll use a mod to get a free can to get a specific like area or background. Some of the animators don't want to do a background, or we can't find like a stage in like Blender, so instead we'll do a green screen. Like a lot of the animations, especially the 3D ones, I'll still be highly involved in. Like some of my favorite ones are there's another actually you might have even seen it, specifically the Marvel one. Marvel actually no, that one was before the Badger one. But this one here, it's so loud. I must show this. I love this animation here specifically. I must show this, and I need to talk about it because this is. If I don't talk about like the interaction here, then I consider my interview a sham. Where's the screen capture? Okay, so there it is. It's over here.
Let's see what you got.
Go to gameplay only. That's Balatro. I don't want that. I want. There we go. Here. Okay, so here we got.
Oh yes, this one.
I would love to show the So this is like really simple stuff where it's like a cool little intro that's done by Soldier, right? And he's animating these 3 characters, but I've had to go and get the background. So that's just the actual video game, and I'll look at the characters and I'm like, all right, let me get the free cam that wonderful modders will have created. Thank fucking God they've done that, because I wouldn't be able to do it without it. See all those shadows? That's me just taking those characters in a video editor and then flipping them upside down and turning up the opacity to maximum. The shadows actually are completely black and opaque like that in the game. So like, the shadows are me, but everything is animated by Soljan, and the backgrounds are me just getting like a decent like view of the game, and everything that Soljan sent me would have been green screen.
Right. Okay.
I wish I was able to show you this in the project, but I don't feel like I'd be like it would have been something that I would need to have organized before I came here. But I only realized just now that I was like, man, I really need to like show this, so I might as well just use the full video. And the most specific scene that I want to bring up is whenever Maximilian joined in, and there we go. So Dino, please, insane bastard, one of the funniest, kindest people I know, and also plays like an absolute bastard, was throwing this is a long ass combo. Hold on, it's right after this.
Right.
He's just spamming beautiful boomerangs.
Yep.
And Doom's just like, he's just advancing guarding, and he's like, oh, I'm really glad that I came in here. Went to this. I'm having such a good time. Let me turn off this like 4K. And so this is one of my favorite scenes because David animated Dr. Doom, like doing the thumbs up. I know you can't hear the audio, like it's okay if anyone wants to see it. Like, I do recommend that you see this part of the video because I love this one so much. This is where I have like a lot of involvement because I'm like, all right, David, have Doom holding up his hand. I will open up the game. I will learn how to do this like fucking toxic ass beautiful spam loop that Dino's doing. Like that's me playing there while the camera's switched around so that I don't even have a good visual aid, and I'm spamming the Arthur assist. You see Arthur throwing his fucking daggers.
Yep.
And then there's a mod over the training dummy that's actually Ryu, where Dr. Doom is. He's been modded to be invisible, so all of the visual effects are actually in the game, and the only thing that's actual animation is just Doom.
It's just Doom. Oh my God.
So this is the fun thing where it's not always just like do animation and then they do all of the animation and it comes back, which often happens, very often. Sometimes there's a couple of animations every video where I'm like, oh my God, I get to get my hands dirty and I get to actually help and feel involved. And I always come to this one. Like me and David like are always like in call all the time. So I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if there's a transition where Dr. Doom does his level 1. He throws a spear flame into the sky. So at the end of this animation, do it where he like brings his hands down. So whenever it goes into the transition, it's smooth as hell. He's doing the thing in game. So like whenever he's finished like animating, he puts his hands together like in the game, like as if it's all one segment, despite the fact that it's definitely clipped.
Yeah, right.
And it keeps the momentum of the video going. I don't know. I just like it. Like this is where like my geekiness comes through, and I'm like, I'm really excited to like talk about this and show like a little behind the scenes. I wish I had the project up. Next time, if I ever do anything like this, which I won't, because Whitman will be the only person to get me to talk about this stuff ever. But if I did, I would hypothetically get a couple of like projects up because I'd love showing like in behind the scenes of like how these are done.
That's insane. So I'll say if this video gets 1 million views, I will get Lythero. I'll get Lythero back on the video. We can look more in depth on this stuff because honestly, this is the kind of stuff that I crave. I'd bring you on for a Klondike bar. That's the thing.
Klondike bar. Yeah, no, it's fun. It's good. I like the animations. I like whenever I specifically get the join in. The only other like thing that pops up at the top of my head was whenever Soljin animated Shadow pulling a 2D mask off that topspinthefuzzy animated.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And I had to mask his hand over the mask.
Goodness.
No, we're not watching Zenless Saga. I don't know which one that is. It's like fucking the Shadow one, right? Stop. Stop shaking, please. Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? I know we're running out of time. I'm so sorry.
No. You're perfectly good. You're perfectly good.
It's not here. It's fucking. This video is so long, dude. What was I thinking?
I'll tell you what. If you can find the video separately or whatnot, like the animation they did, send it to me. I'll put it. Oh, never mind. You found it. Okay.
I got it. So like it's all animated by like topspinthefuzzy up until this point, and I was like, hey, can you animate? I asked Soljin. You can see that he's 3D under here,
yep.
And then Soljin animated Shadow pulling like an invisible mask off that doesn't exist, and then Topspinthefuzzy like rotoscope 2D over it, so that I press the pause button. Yeah, there we go. I can frame by frame it.
Yep.
And he pulls like the 2D up, and it looks really clean because I go through every like frame and I make sure to like cut that in After Effects. Like the layers involved, the pulling the 2D off the 3D model. Right. It just took like a whole day, like probably 2 days, honestly, if I'm gonna be real, where I'm like losing my mind trying to figure out where to place like the fingers. And Soljin was able to find out a way to make the fingers only visible on the 3D model to make it a little bit easier. It's such a collaborative project all the time. And I love like little parts like this where it's like multiple people come together to make one stupid fucking joke that only lasts like 2 seconds in a 2 hour long and 13-minute and 26-second video.
But it's fucking worth it.
It was worth it, Balatro. It's fucking worth it. Oh my god!
I mean, I guess that's why it's really cool that you have this like community, you have these friends and these group of people to help bring such great ideas to life. That's that I could go on when it comes to just. I'll gush about you a little bit more in a second, but
no more. I couldn't take another drop.
I'll at least wrap up the podcast a little bit whenever I ask this last question. I got one last question I want to ask you, Lythero.
Go for it.
Obviously, with all the different aspects of art you've been involved in, you've had a hand with art, or you've had a love of art for years, ages at this point. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
If we lose art, then we lose humanity.
You know what? Say no more. That is beautifully worded.
I mean, I could go into it. Like, I do feel that strongly about it. There's an example. I was playing Balatro on the plane, and there was a normal ass father who looked at my phone and he was like, "Oh, so you're a gambler?" And I was like, "No, this is a video game. There's no gambling really involved, but it looks like gambling."
Right.
And unprompted, he brought up like AI, for example, the looming elephant in the room. Whenever you talk about like how important art is, okay. And I'm like, all right, well, I think it's terrible. Like, check mark the thing that you say, like it's AI bad. And he's like, and this father like explained how he's like, oh, video games. Well, my son is thinking of becoming a game developer or maybe even an artist. And then later he does the mention of like, oh, well, what do you think of AI art? And I'm like, I think it's terrible. And he's like, why do you think it's bad? I'm like, well, I don't think your son will be able to become an animator or an artist if AI continues to go the way it goes, unchecked.
Right.
And he was like, huh, I never really thought of that. I'm like, how did you not think of that? Like, this is the crazy part where like you see the two dots connect and people realize like, okay, well then, yeah, maybe art made by people is really important. And I believe it is really important because like, yeah, we all got shit to do. We're all doing the grind. We all have like nice things to say to each other. There's love and kindness in this world, but so much of it revolves around like the bag so we can survive another day and, you know, feed our fucking families. And art is one of those things that kind of like, it's one of the only things that separates us from, like, you know, just doing that fucking grind.
Right.
It's something that we all enjoy. It's something that we all like nobody says I don't like art.
Yeah.
That's like saying I don't like music. Like, you say you don't like a certain genre of music. There's always going to be some sort of music that you like.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be some form of art that you enjoy, and it's really fucking important. Like, there's no easy way to say it. There's no real easy way to quantify like how important art is, because, you know, it's a constant known fucking fact. It's in our DNA.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I believe that if without art, we're just not like we lose a very dominant part of what makes us human, like, just straight up. So
that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself.
I tried.
Hey, no, I agree. I think you did a good attempt. It was really good to hear, especially hearing like the dad's reaction of just like, well, why isn't AI art good? Is like, well, you look at your son.
It implies that people can learn.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it gives like hope that, you know, maybe people can realize the why as long as we explain it, but it has to be really relevant to them, you know. And I guess, yeah, as you were saying, like, bringing up the comparison of like, well, my son, you know, like, oh, well, then think about it. You know, do 3 steps in the you know, the hypothetical. What happens whenever like your son goes to be an artist, but like a corporation can like feed a fucking like graphics card to do that shit for free, like straight up within seconds, and it looks like dog shit. Well, I don't think it looks like dog shit. It does.
Yeah, it does.
It'll keep looking better, though. I don't think it's a good idea for artists to go the angle of, hey, it looks so bad, it's so bad looking, because it's always improving. It's improving at a horrifically rapid rate. What should be done is
the goal of AI is to learn and then reproduce what it learns. So it's gonna, as long as it keeps getting fed more crap, it's going to learn.
Exactly. The motivation, or the point, or the goal should really be like, hey, at what point is this going to be like taking over? Can we get some rules, some ground rules of what can be like monetized and what shouldn't be monetized? Like, it really is a question of morality. And unfortunately, whenever money is involved, morality kind of goes out the window. So it's a really, really, really hard fight to fight.
Yep.
I don't know the solution. I really don't. It's terrifying. But I can assure you, there are definitely a lot of people that feel very strongly about this, and I feel very strongly too.
Yes.
I know that I'll never rely on quote unquote AI art for any of my videos. I don't bother on AI tools for video editing, but I don't really care about the tool aspect, so to speak. You know, there's things that, because AI is such a bad term.
Yes.
Because it's actually not really artificial intelligence. It's definitely a fucking machine that's just learning what it's given.
Yes.
It doesn't make shit up. There's no artificial intelligence part of it, but that's the name that we're stuck with. There's stuff like Spider-Verse that's got like a tool that you know, quote unquote AI will do like the outlining of like characters' faces for expressions, and that's just a time saver. It doesn't. I don't think it diminishes the quality of the final product. I don't think it necessarily makes it very inhumane to use some shortcuts. It's just whatever. It's like, from the ground up, this machine took these elements and they mishmashed it together, and this is what we're left with. I think that shit sucks.
I was gonna say, like, basically, to put it in a very simple phrase, if AI is used as tools, fine, as long as it helps. But if AI is being used to replace a person, replace a human being in their expressions and their emotions, no, fuck that, fuck off.
And then the devil's advocate part is like, but wouldn't a human have done that tool part? For example, Emerald Demon does all the subtitles for my videos, but I could easily use an AI assisted tool to do all of that, and then Emerald Demon wouldn't be doing the subtitles. So where do you draw the line? It's weird. It's a very tricky one.
Yes.
That's one reason why I don't bother using any AI stuff at all, and I probably won't. Mostly because I'm fucking lazy and I don't bother to learn it.
There you go. That's even better.
I don't care to change my routine. I don't care to like put on like new like programs and stuff. I've just stuck with. I'm still on the Adobe Premiere like 2017. I don't think I'm going to update it until like internet gets good enough to shift more than like 4K, like I'm good. And I don't think it's gonna, because the internet isn't getting any better.
No,
we're stuck on this.
It's not.
What, 10 years?
It's gonna be at least a good while. But Lythero, that's all the questions that I have for you. I've already showered you with a whole bunch of praise, but I'm gonna show you just a little bit more because it's my podcast to do what the fuck I want.
God damn you! How dare you?
Like I said, I've been watching your videos for a while, and I can't help but just feel that love and that energy every single time I watch some of your videos. You know, with what you present, with what your friends bring to the table, with what the animators are able to present. Like I cannot get enough, and I recognize kind of the love and the work and the effort and passion that goes in just every single one of the videos that you put out, especially these days. Getting the chance to talk to you, I said it before, I'll say it again, it's really surreal. It's really incredible to get a chance to just chat with you and personally to tell you, like, thank you for providing a good fun outlet for people to feel like they're part of a group in one sense or another, to be part of this cool community and really share that love and that energy that you put out there, that you present to the people. Thank you for taking the hours upon hours to really get this stuff edited together to something cohesive, because I can imagine, like, you know, especially when it's at the super rough stage, it might be hard to find somewhat of a narrative at some points or whatnot, or something to really help move the story along. But like the fact that you take the time and effort to really put something out there that people love, like I can't help but commend you for it. And thank you more than anything else for giving so many animators the opportunity to really showcase themselves and really show what they're able to do with the platform that you provide. You are a fantastic being, and like I said, it's been an honor and a pleasure to even have you here. So thank you. Keep up the incredible work, man, because we're all gonna love, we're all gonna see it, we're all gonna support you no matter what.
Your kind words, they wound me, sir. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Nathan. I will keep trying my best.
Oh no, absolutely.
My one motivation is to like not let people down. I really like the formula we got going, and yeah, no, I literally I don't even want to I don't even have goals anymore.
Your goal is just keep doing good stuff.
Yeah, I mean that in the nicest way possible. I don't have any like aspirations for like higher like forms of entertainment. I don't care for like organizing any shows. I don't care for like I said, I don't care for public appearances. I really enjoy my privacy. So yeah.
Well,
no,
I appreciate you making the exception for me, because that means a lot more than anything else.
I don't know how you did it.
I just asked, and what was
I know.
I will say real quickly, what I loved about it is like when I initially asked, because I take like a little bit of time, like, you know, putting together like the nice little paragraph and be like, "Hi, I'm Nathan."
Yep. Professional.
Very professional, and I love how you responded in like quite possibly the most Lythero way possible. It was like, "I'm dying and exploding, but meet me back in a couple days." I should be like, it was. I literally shared it with a couple of my buddies. Like, that was the most Lythero response I could have ever given.
That's so funny. Yeah, unless if I have to be like formal, like AKA sponsors, yeah. I'm like, fuck it, reball, or fuck it, I don't ball. I'm done. I think you sent me that email, and I was like, that was right after the whole trip to America,
right?
And I was like, I was finished with like one of the hardest crunches of my life, and then I went to like do like a 4-day work week, like setting up the artist alley thing for Amber, because she was sick, by the way.
Oh, that's fun.
And she's fine now. And then we did another thing of like a whole week of like selling the stuff, and then I was meeting people, and then whenever I got home, I literally lay on the floor and I was like, my back hurt. I got the email. I was like, there's no fucking chance in hell that I'm saying yes. So I'll just say ask. Request unrecognized. Ask again later. Essentially.
Well,
it worked out.
It worked out in the end. Now, if people are not already, I mean, most people that are at this video, they've probably seen your stuff all the time. But for the random few here and there that may not know where to find all the stuff that I've been gushing about this entire time, go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home.
Hi, I'm Lythero. I do button. I press the buttons, and you'll find it.
Yep.
Type the name.
If nothing else,
you'll find it.
If nothing else, I got some links in the description below for you guys. I got you covered.
That's all I need, bro. That's all I need. I don't need to say anything. If you're curious, if you like what you see on the screen here, viewer, if you like seeing, like, you know, I could like load this fucking gun up. I'll point at you, and I'll point it up there, and I would never shoot Nathan. That's okay. But like, I don't know, if you like, you know, buttons and things and moving shit, like, there's probably something you'll like in the videos, and if you don't like animation, like some sort of fucking weirdo, maybe you'll like fighting games or something.
Well, there you go.
A masculine urge to raw dragon punch on makeup. I'm sure you'll get it. Oh my god, beatbox! There's bunnies too. There's bunnies. There's bunnies. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on, I can show you a video of my bunnies. They're here. They're literally here. Hold on. I have another engagement that I have to be, but
yes,
I will tell them I had to show Nathan bunnies.
Of course.
They're here, change windows. Look at this boy.
Second, let's see the boy.
Beatbox, come back here. Come back, Beatbox.
Where's the boy?
Oh,
I want to see the boy.
It's not plugged in? Is this not plugged in? It's definitely plugged in. What are you doing? Capture device? Oh, okay. I know what's wrong. Boop.
Oh, let's see the boy. Come on.
Where are you?
Where's the video? The video's taking forever to load.
Well, I know why. Turn off camera. I know why. Bonnie, there we go.
There's a bunny. What's up?
I'll give him a P-flick. I'm gonna. I don't have any treats. I'm gonna pretend that I have a treat, and then they're gonna kill me, and that's how it ends. so Psycho Nugget, you want a treat? I'm gonna lie. Come here. I'm lying to you. Yeah, that's right. Come here. All right. Swirl. I don't actually have a treat, so she might not do it. Swirl. Yeah. All right. And I don't actually have a treat, so they're gonna kill me now.
And with that, all I have to let's say is for the people at home, please pay your artists.
Please, I beg of you. Or they'll come to me, and then I'll have to put them down.
All right.
I can't do it anymore. I can't put down any more artists. Bye.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I greatly do appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, Lythero is one of those comfort creators that I have, and it was just, it still is surreal to think that I had a chance to talk with him. Lythero, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you, sincerely. It was really cool to get a chance to chat with you. The thing about Lythero is not just the fact that, he's this big follower that's got over 1 million people on YouTube and Lord knows on all the other social media platforms. It's not just the numbers. It's the fact that he has this platform and he uses this platform not just for himself, but to really bring up other people. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times I get to the end of a video and he's using it less to promote himself and more to promote some of his buddies and what they're doing. On top of that, just the videos themselves with how much animation he has commissioned and put forward in there, making sure to credit the proper people and such. That's a major boost considering, in fact, how many views a lot of his videos get. Lythero is the kind of creator I aspire to be. I hope that with this podcast or whatever platform I'm able to develop for myself, I hope that I'm able to develop enough of a platform that I could turn around and use that to lift up other people. I mean, trust me, every single person that goes, that is part of a Lythero stream or is a part of a Lythero video, they're all phenomenal. There are so many incredible, phenomenal people, so many talented people that are a part of those, just any part of that process. I would kill to eventually get enough of a platform to where I can do the same. Or at least use my platform to help shine a spotlight on incredible people. That's what I try to do with this podcast. And it's not the biggest spotlight all the time, but I know that it's certainly reaching people. I mean, you're watching this video right now, aren't you? But I sincerely hope that if this is your first time listening to this podcast, go through and check out some of the other episodes. go through and check out some of the incredible people that I've been able to bring on and listen to their story. Listen to how cool of an experience it is and how cool they are. Because they absolutely deserve it. Just like Lythero deserves it. For all that he's been able to do, what he has been able to do for this community. I hope that I can eventually get to that point to where I can have a platform like that, like Lythero, so I could showcase all the incredible people I've been able to have on this podcast. That's why I keep doing this. That and the love and support I've gotten from you guys, and the cool, incredible conversations I get. I mean, you heard how much fun I was having with this conversation. How much I was laughing throughout. That's why I want to keep going. And I hope that if you guys enjoyed today's episode, you'd be more than happy to stick with me and to keep that going. Keep up the good times. Keep up that love and support. And let's provide a platform for these incredible, talented people.